Good afternoon and welcome to the UEFA Nations League watch-along for the first England game of the campaign, and we're going to be taking on Iceland. And for this game, Rowan is joining me for this one. Afternoon fixture. How are we doing, Rowan?
I'm good. I've had there's been a busy afternoon for sports. Qualifying, then I had Oldham. Now we've got England playing. It's going to be very fun.
It is a big day. I mean, as you just said there's some Carabao Cup fixtures going on right now, so it's very, very busy. But
During the intro, if you hear Josh do a loud scream, Rotherham have equalised.
Yes, because we're 1-0 down right now. But no, we've got a good game coming up today. Iceland taking on England, which, to be honest, I don't think there'll be a great deal of people watching this one. So far, the Nations League hasn't been as impressive as I think people would have liked it to have been in terms of the goals and the way that the competition started out. But today, of course, this is an afternoon fixture, so we haven't got to sit there and kind of run through 7 or 8 fixtures in one go. We can really focus on this game, chill out, just enjoy this match while we can, because of course tonight there's some other big games going on. So over the next 10 minutes, we're going to look through the lineups, talk about England, talk about Iceland, of course, because they've got a couple of key players in their side, and hopefully, fingers crossed, maybe get an equaliser in the Rotherham game, because right now Oldham's game has finished. So you're through to the next round. Congratulations on that one. Great result indeed.
Is it still in the second round? Is it still North and South split up?
I don't think it is. I think it starts to include the Premier League sides.
I'm really confused when I saw.
I think the draw is on Monday for that, so you won't have to find out too long for who you're facing. But in terms of who England are facing today, they've got a good game against Iceland. Of course, I think there'll be a lot of England fans that remember a certain game in 2016 where we did lose very, very unfortunately in that match. But of course, now it's a big opportunity for us to potentially go out and get a win in the Nations League in our first game. So we'll have a quick look at the lineups, talk through them now. As you can see on the screen, we've got the Iceland lineup today. It's a 4-4-2. It's going to be quite interesting to pronounce some of these names. We're going to start off
Every single player's got Sun on the end.
They do indeed as well. And I think it's the same on the bench as well, which is mad, isn't it?
Christ.
Hal Dawson is in goal. You'll remember him, of course, from their previous World Cup and Euro campaigns. Hermansson, Ingerson, former Rotherham legend Kari Arnason, and Magnusson in the back four. Midfield four of Traustason, Bjarnason, Palsson, and Postinson. That's the midfield right now. The front two is Sigthorsson and Danny Bodvarsson. And then the England side, of course, it's much easier to pronounce these names. It's a 4-1-4-1 today for England. Jordan Pickford is in goal. It's a back four of Trippier playing at left back. I was about to say Kieran Dyer there. It's Eric Dyer, Joe Gomez and Kyle Walker in the back four today. The midfield or defensive midfielder, of course, of Declan Rice. The kind of attacking four midfield. On the left-hand side, it's Sterling. We've got Phil Foden, James Ward-Prowse and Jadon Sancho on the right-hand side. And then we've got Harry Kane up top. In terms of that England side, Rowan, Gareth Southgate, he did come out before and said that he wasn't going to play a lot of the youngsters today. But there is Phil Foden in there. Do you think it's the right call, or do you think he should have kind of brought in a few more youngsters?
I think maybe another youngster, maybe drop out Sterling, maybe that defence, Walker and Trippier, I don't think need to be in there. But I suppose it's all a bit more secure, trying not to get an embarrassing loss. I think the main standouts in this team are Foden and Ward-Prowse. Ward-Prowse not really getting many England call-ups, but we all know he's been very consistent for Southampton, and I think he's deserved of one. I think Southampton have had a very good season this year. Obviously, Jadon Sancho's in there, the Borussia Dortmund man who has been linked so much to Man United that it's just not happening anymore. It's all to do with Harry Kane, see if he can actually pick up some England goal-scoring form. But I hope Phil Foden and Ward-Prowse have a good game today, really.
Phil Foden's first start for England. Big opportunity for him today to really put a name and potentially, of course, get some more starts. And talk about the other players, of course, that haven't started. These are the substitutes for today's game. Plenty of big-name England stars on the bench. So on the left-hand side, you can see on the screen the two goalkeepers that could come on, Harry Doubtful, Pope and Henderson. Alexander-Arnold, Tyrone Mings, Michael Keane are the other defenders that can come on. Jack Grealish, of course, first call-up for England. Mason Mount, Ainsley Maitland-Niles, first call-up for him as well. Connor Cody, Calvin Phillips, the Leeds midfielder, could come on at some point today. Danny Ings and Mason Greenwood, of course, the Manchester United youngster, could come on at some point in the match. And as we said before, just looking at the substitutes, you're spot on, Rowan. It does include the bench as well, all of the sons.
One thing that's meant up for the Iceland team is, I know that there's a whole thing with Iceland that if you are a son, if you are born a man or a boy, you will have Sonage last name because you are the son of so you are the son of Christians, Runars, Fuchs. So they add son on the end because they are the son. But I'm surprised there's no people who were born in England or born in a different country but can play for Iceland. But all of them have got a son on the last name.
You would have thought so, and you can see from the Iceland substitutes, some pretty decent players in there. Christiansen, Renarsson are the two goalkeepers that could come on. Fridjolussen, Eljofsson, Fridjonsson, Gylfi Sigurdsson, of course, the biggest name, who could come on at some point today. Gudmundsson as well, Burnley.
Oh my God, you haven't checked your Twitter, have you?
I've not.
Rotherham have scored.
Yeah, you know, are you actually joking? Oh, we have as well.
There you go.
Get in. Oh, my God. Wow, I did not see that.
Good penalties, Josh.
Oh, I didn't even see it. I'm not going to lie. I haven't checked my Twitter or anything. 1-1 Rotherham. I'm a Rotherham fan, of course. Carabao Cup is being played right now. I haven't seen that we've equalised. It's not even come up on Sky Sports, so I hadn't seen, but we've equalised, and now it's come up. Happy with that. But yeah, looking at the bench as well, going into penalties now. We might lose anyway. Anderson, Fridjonsson, Balderson, Halfredsson, and Skalasson on the bench as well. Yeah. So a couple of decent players could come on. Gylfi Sigurdsson of Everton had a pretty decent pre-season so far with the Premier League side. And Gudmundsson as well from Burnley. He could potentially come on. But in terms of these two sides, you would think maybe today that this England team could go out there and get a pretty good result against Iceland.
I think if you go back to the subs a second, I think this is our biggest opportunity now to really test these things. So if you go over to the subs a second, I do see that he's not listening. I think Calvin Phillips will definitely come on. I think Jack Grealish will come on for 100%. Two people who I think got the call-ups that people have been clamouring for. I think Calvin Phillips is a strange one because he is Championship football, but we've always complained about players not being called up from Championship even though they might have had stellar seasons. Also, just on the English bench, I don't think we will see a Jordan Henderson, a Michael Keane. I don't think even Mason Mount, Danny Ings as well. I think we will see, and maybe Tarek. I think we might see Greenwood, Phillips, Grealish, and those might be the three subs. And maybe because it's Nations League in it, so it's not like you won't have more subs. So yeah, I think I said then maybe Connor Cody, but I doubt it. It'll be interesting to see who he does bring. I think it'll be people who haven't got a cap before for England.
Absolutely. It's very important as well because England do play a couple of days afterwards. Again, like most of the nations, some teams are playing, I think, 3 or 4 days after their previous match. So the game does kick off in a couple of minutes. We're just keeping our eyes out as well on the Carabao Cup. Some games have gone to penalties, including our game. I'm a Rotherham fan, of course.
And
we've
Hull.
gone to penalties. And Hull as well, which I'm just seeing their penalties right now. Chris is in the chat. He says, "Hi, lads. Hope you're both well." Rowan with a big old smirk on his face. Alden beat my local town, Carlisle. I start work at 6:45, so thought you watch you guys before work. Welcome, Chris. You absolute legend. Shame about the result for you. Rowan is absolutely delighted.
It was when the first goal and I went, no, I am not joking. Oldham are winning a game of football. It's a good sign that we're beating a team who are in the same division as us. So we'll wait and see.
It's massive. I mean, right now they're just showing the penalty shootout between Sunderland and Hull on my screen. I'm going to switch over to the England game very shortly. Of course, that does kick off
We're just getting
at 5 o'clock. But yeah, we should be all right now. Obviously, keep an eye out on those penalty shootouts. But it should be a very good game, this Iceland v England. I mean, we've seen a lot of the big nations not necessarily show up in general throughout these first couple of games. And it's, of course, a case of fitness levels as well being a major factor of these games. But it's not just this game that's going on right now as well. There's a couple of other games, no really major games in terms of big nations, but you can see on the bottom of your screen, Azerbaijan are taking on Luxembourg, Cyprus are taking on Montenegro, and Estonia are taking on Georgia. So if there's any goals in those games, we'll just chuck them on there. But let's be real. In terms of how big the matches are to, some fans, it's not really major games compared to Iceland versus England. But at the same time, you could say maybe that's the same quality as us. That's why we're playing at this time.
Yeah, it's mental, isn't it? Because you look at the depth of both teams, and you say I said that subs bench could probably make a brand new half decent starting 11. Yeah, I think for England, it's just showing that we can after obviously this is sort of not biggest major test since the World Cup. Obviously, we had the Nations League last year, but it's sort of the start of a new era in terms of brought a lot of new debutants in. Yeah, very interesting to see. I'm hoping just a win. Maybe it's a lot of goals, but I'm not confident with that.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. It'd be nice to see a couple of goals. We haven't had a really big nation yet kind of take a big lead in a game. Germany and Spain, they faced off against each other a couple of days ago. That was a 1-1 draw. Italy yesterday picked up a 1-1 draw against Bosnia. And tonight we might see finally one of these big nations really come out and give a good performance because, of course, this is the afternoon game. We're going to be live again tonight, but it won't be me and Rowan. It'll be Kieran, and Will. As Portugal take on Croatia tonight, Sweden take on France, and Denmark take on Belgium. So 3 very big games tonight that are going on. But we have the afternoon shift. We're looking forward to this game. Dave Priest says, "Are you showing the game?" We can't, unfortunately, because of copyright. But if you wanting to watch the game, it should be on Sky Sports Football.
Yeah.
Or Premier League, one or the two. So if you want to watch it and have the watch along on at the same time, then absolutely go for it. Just trying to obviously keep an eye out as one of the Carabao Cup games. Chris has put, same old from my local town, Carlisle. False hope, egg on our faces. Shocking defensively. Well done to Oldham. Well-deserved winners. So, Chris there, giving you a pat on the back for your performance today.
We appreciate it. It's just good sounds for us. We made a lot of signings this season. Yeah, and to get the result is what we wanted. Are the players getting ready to kick off?
Well, it looks like we're going to be knocked out of the Carabao Cup here because it looks like Vassell hit the post and Salford the lead. Unbelievable.
No. I mean, we just saw that Maitland Niles. He's another player I think you can see. Come on, I think it's his first main roster, main team call up for England. Where the game is about to kick off. I don't know if you've got the game loaded up yet. I've just taken a knee, which is very nice.
Have very indeed nice. Now. Flicked over. There we go. And
so either I'm going to be ahead or Josh will be ahead, but we'll figure it out when it comes.
Yours are taking the knee. My game's kicked off.
That's fine. We'll do what we did before. Right. You do the thing here now. I'll add all the little tidbits.
Saves having to sync up. See, we go. The game has kicked off. As Iceland,
what's your game on in terms of time?
38 seconds.
Okay.
Is yours kicked off yet?
No, it's 15, 16, 17. So I'm 15 seconds behind, but that's fine.
It means that way when a moment goes in, you can kind of give the backup commentary. Yeah. But no, the game's kicked off now.
If it gets horribly worse, I've heard Estonia Georgia's good this time of year. So
you can keep an eye on Raggy Klavan. I mean, I'm just going to check, is he playing?
He's not playing. What?
He's not playing.
The disrespect.
In fact, he's not even on the bench today. So very disappointing there. I'd have thought he'd have been called up.
You would have presumed, because he's the only Estonian player I can think of off the top of my head.
Exactly, he's the only player I can think of who is Estonian. But we're into the first minute of this game, and I've got to say, of course, this is being played in Iceland right now, and it looks like a really, really nice day there. Nice sunny day, and hopefully we should get a good match today. It's going to be a nice chilled out one because we to be honest, I know there's the other games on the bottom, but we can kind of just focus on this match and keep an eye out for how England play. And in terms of the performances for England, we're hoping maybe we can see a bit more attacking, free-flowing football. You remember the last Nations League that we played? We got to the semi-finals of the competition before we were knocked out to Holland.
You know what? I was happy. So I think I was away at Centre Parks when we played Holland. And I rarely make bets, but I used a free bet on Ladbrokes. I think it was £1, and it was for Matthijs de Ligt to score a goal. Got me 20 quid. So I was drinking more excited for Holland scoring than England if it happened. But yeah, Joe Hart's also trending on Twitter because he was playing in net for Tottenham against Watford and he let in a goal. People saying he could have done a lot better, but I think it was just an incredible shot.
And we are out as well. 2 penalties saved from ours, which is a shame. But it does mean now I can focus on this game.
Yeah, you probably deserve it considering you scored last minute.
Yeah, it's a shame. They'd only had said earlier they had one shot, and that was in the 17th minute. But apart from that, it's a shame. But it's only the Carabao Cup, Chris has
it's
put
not like it's the FA Cup.
England kit. I like it all white. It's quite nice, actually.
It's very nice. It's a new one that they were promoting, weren't it?
Yeah, and England are coming forward here. First opportunity of the game, Jadon Sancho were on the right-hand side here. Of course, linked with the move to Manchester United. Harry Kane got for a long-range effort. Would have been a fantastic goal to start off, but straight into the hands of the goalkeeper, Hal Dawson. And interested to see Harry Kane starting today, actually, because I thought maybe this would have been a great opportunity to try someone out like Danny Ings or Mason Greenwood up top.
Yeah, I was surprised. I thought Mason Greenwood would have been involved just because there was all this hype around him joining. Harry Kane, I don't think... Maybe it's just to build a bit of match sharpness of Harry Kane. Then maybe give Greenwood or Ings a start as we get further into this Nations League. How many games? Is it only 2 games we've got, or 3? Or is it more than that?
We've got, I think, 2 games in the Nations League this time. So it's this game today and then our next match. Just have a look now, I think, is on Tuesday against Denmark. So it's a very, very quick turnover.
Yeah. Look, I think we've got enough rotated players. I think we'll be fine.
Yeah, we should be fine. And that game is on Tuesday. We're away again. So it is a case of going from Iceland to Denmark, which is a very quick turnover in a couple of days. But
yeah,
you see Gareth Southgate, if you're watching at the same time as I am right now, he's not wearing the waistcoat that we know him for. It's just a jumper today. Jumper, shirt and tie.
Bit nippy over there. It's not waistcoat weather.
No, definitely not.
I like the neck bit where it's like purple. Well, I think it's black. That's very. I appreciate a good kit. So if you tuned into our tier list with KD, my most recent one, I had the Watford kit at God tier. No, Watford,
nice,
West Brom. No, the horrible West Brom kit. The horrible one. Do you know where it's like red and yellow? The disgusting kit.
Which kit is it?
The West Brom. I think it's West Brom away.
From away.
It might be their third kit, actually. If it's not, all the new West Brom kits are not nice.
I don't like the away kit there. The third. Oh yeah, I've just seen it now.
There we go.
I know exactly what you mean. Oh my god, not nice.
What's your opinions on the Wolves third kit? The blue, it's like the white and blue one. The not bubbles. If you have a look, Wolves third kit, I think it is.
That looks quite nice, actually.
It's like Liverpool's away kit.
I don't mind that. It looks like clouds. If it's the one I'm looking at, it looks really nice, actually.
England just having an attack there. Walker plays the ball up into the box. It's a horrid one. And England getting a free kick.
So it's actually another opportunity here. And have we got our first goal of the game? I don't know if it's going to count or not, but Harry Kane's put it in the back of the net. He's protesting here. I think he's been given as a foul from Harry Kane. And it's not going to count, no. It looks like, as Harry Kane's gone in for the ball, I think he's given that as a foul from Kane on Hal Dawson. And the referee, just trying to see what's happened here. So the ball's lofted in from Raheem Sterling. It's a fantastic ball. It bobbles down towards Harry Kane. It's actually a foul in the build-up, not Kane on Hal Dawson.
Number 6 for England, Eric Dyer.
Which is a shame there. Could have been 1-0 up after the 5 minutes in this match, but it's a shame there.
Yeah, it's Eric Dyer who brings one of the Icelandic players down, and that's what allows the ball to go through.
It's the right decision there from the referee. Obviously, Kane thinks he's got the goal. It'd been good there to have got the first goal in the first 5 minutes, but referee says plays on. Good start here. First couple of minutes in.
I don't know what that's given for, actually. Because I thought it was Eric Dyer. But Eric Dyer doesn't touch him. Very strange.
I don't know with the VAR. I don't think VAR's available in the Nations League either. So it's, once again, it's not a case of being able to actually to look at these fouls and penalties and things like that. So very unjust decision.
Yeah.
Tweet out very quickly that we're live, and there we go. Coming forward again here.
7.5 minutes in.
Sancho trying to loft it towards Kane, who has had a fair few touches of the ball already 7 minutes in. Not a bad start for England.
No, I mean, you've got a goal. The ball's in the back of the net. It's for something you know that you can put it past him, so at least you can keep on going.
Yeah, just seeing that opportunity now, as you said, Dyer hasn't actually fouled him at all, and I think the referees. I think the referee must have seen it as if Dyer has fouled him, and the player, of course, has dropped to the floor. And we know VAR on that, you can't check it. But yeah, weird decision there from the referee.
Apologies to the stream. I am going to be... I'll show you what I've got in a second. Let's put a bit of Tommy K there.
Chris has put
Maybe
England doing something right for once. Now time to transform that onto the pitch for once. Yeah, very true.
Very strange. This is what I've got today. You can see my desk. It's steak and chippies.
Oh, that's beautiful. You can't beat a bit of steak and chippies. Very nice. 8 minutes on the clock. Iceland 0, England 0. If you've just joined us, welcome to the stream. You haven't missed a great deal so far in the game, the first 10 minutes, but England on the front foot, as you would expect in a match like this. And of course, if you're new as always, do leave a like and a subscription. We've got more watch-alongs to come. And England on the attack again here. It's coming down the right-hand side from Jadon Sancho. It's going to be laid off here. It's a shot that hits the side netting. Hal Dawson has to dive, and the shot there looking like it had come from Kyle Walker. Good chance there for England to try and take the lead early on.
We've got a stream. I'm back tomorrow with my F1 stream.
You are indeed. Italian Grand Prix. Should be a good one.
Yeah, it should be very interesting. Carlos Sainz getting a surprise. Third place.
Just looking as well, from the opportunity that Kyle Walker has hit there, is actually slight deflection. So there's going to be a corner.
Oh, yeah.
Kieran Trippier is going to take. Maybe can Kane get his head on it? Lofted in. Towards the path of Kane. It comes down for Sterling, who can't take a touch. But he can get the ball on the left-hand side towards the left-hand corner flag. What can he do here, Sterling? He's going to lay it off into the middle with Declan Rice. And it's slow build-up play from England right now, taking their time. It just does feel like, with the way that this game has gone so far, it shouldn't be too long before England take the lead.
I think a goal will come in soon.
Much quicker start than probably all of the 15 games put together from the last 2 days.
In fairness, I've been lucky. I've eventually had good games. Like the first half would be really boring, but then the second half will light up.
Yeah, I did have a bad game. The Germany-Spain game was really good, but the Italy game was really, really poor. Bosnia had a good game. They deserved a point from that one.
Well, I saw the highlights of the game. The Germany-Spain game. I mean, if you're Leeds fans, you're going to be happy with Rodrigo. He seemed like he had a half-decent performance. Didn't put really anything away, but he showed a bit of oomph.
Yeah, no, I kind of feel like that's why he was probably on the pitch as well, Rodrigo. To these types of games, to be honest, they're not really major games. In fact, I kind of looked yesterday, and Roberto Mancini had come out after the game and said that he accidentally forgot to play Chiellini because the starting lineup sheets that were kind of given out, his assistant manager showed him the team sheet that he'd selected, and he hadn't got his glasses on, so he thought it said, instead of a Cherby, he thought it said Chiellini, so he just went, yeah, go on.
Yeah, that's fine.
I forgot to play him.
George, maybe he was thinking, well, fuck's sake, I've only played because he can't see.
Exactly, which just shows how, kind of, let's be real, this tournament so far, nobody really cares. I think, I remember I said about Joachim Low in the press conference, he said, to be honest, I don't really care about the results in these games, it's just more about tinkering with systems. But England are coming forward here. Good chance maybe for Declan Rice, who's got into the box. Rare run forward from the West Ham player, but nothing comes of it. It's lovely play. Thought it was going to go out for corner there, it hasn't. You're right.
I suppose it's a good opportunity for these big teams to go right. Well, you saw Germany, Spain, Kevin Trapp getting a start, which he would have never got. I don't think if this was a proper competitive game. And he didn't actually have a bad game. Made some nice saves, a little bit of mistakes here and there, but for your first really major game, I suppose you can't complain.
Yeah, I think it's just a great testing period, to be honest. The fact that this is a lot of players' first games, it's just a good time to use some of the younger players, like how England have brought Grealish and Maitland-Niles and that. I think most probably international managers are just using this as a tester for example, Scotland for their playoff game next month for the Euros. And of course, for those that are already there, like England, it's just a good opportunity to test out some players for next year's tournament.
Yeah, I think sort of the Euros being postponed, it was a minor blessing in disguise for some teams, because there are probably a lot of teams who had players ready to go that year, who were probably end of their career, but now they can bring in these youngsters. And with the Nations League now, it gives them youngsters a big chance.
Yeah, absolutely.
The
I was going to
biggest
say
one
the same.
for us is centre back. Sorry, in terms of obviously Harry Maguire's not in the squad. He wouldn't. I think he would normally be in the squad.
Yeah.
Which centre is it? Michael Keane who gets dropped? Let's say this. We take the same squad we've took to the Nations League. If the centre back you drop, is it Michael Keane? For me, it is.
It'd probably be Connor Cody because this is Cody's first call up.
True.
But in terms of an England centre back that gets called up regularly, it probably would be Michael Keane on the bench.
Mm-hmm. Well, shame Connor Cody because I think it's not a shame because he's been called up, but I'm hoping he'd start this game over. Maybe a Joe Gomez who does play for England, well, more consistently than Connor Cody.
The thing is, as well, Cody's played a hell of a lot of games. I think it was something like in the Europa League, he played every single match and wasn't subbed off either. So it's like he's a very consistent player. And now, as you said, it's a great time to call players up like that and give them an opportunity in this side. It's like take Ainsley Maitland-Niles, for example. There's a mistake here at the back for England, and Iceland are through on goal. Pickford's come out of his net here. It's laid off to one of the Iceland midfielders. He's gone down in the box, calling for a penalty, but the referee says no, and England can get a counter-attack going. And a little bit lucky there because Pickford came running out of his box, and he's already been in the media quite recently for some of the mistakes he's made, and that could have been I wouldn't have said it's really a mistake. He's got to come out in that situation, but it wouldn't have looked good if that had gone in.
Yeah, I think again, it's a goalkeeping error. Not error we've got in the team, but we choose Pickford, but then Pickford gets so much hate. It's like, well, why can't we try out Nick Pope, Dean Henderson? It's a strange situation.
I'd have liked to have seen Pope or Henderson start, and I think we might see one of those two start in the Denmark game. I just think he does get a lot of stick, Pickford, and to be honest, it is deserved for some of the mistakes he's made in recent weeks and years and that. But when you've consistently got players like Pope and Henderson who are doing so good for their clubs, why not start them now and give them a go?
Pickford is a great keeper. He does make them clutch saves. He's the reason we stayed in that penalty shootout against Colombia. I rewatched it the other day just because it came on my suggestion. And his penalty save was incredible. And you think, well, maybe that's why we've got him in case we need that clutch save. But you need that consistency with the keeper, which I think Pope Henderson does give you.
I think that's the risk. He can pull off some wonder saves, some really good saves. But if you want in the wonder saves, and he probably could make saves, and maybe that Pope and Henderson couldn't. But you are running the risk of, if you are picking him, you're likely to have more mistakes from him. While with a Henderson or a Pope, you'll get less mistakes. But are they going to be as good? And I think they are as good. But it's a case of whether Southgate trusts them enough to put them in their lineup and try them out.
Let's say Pickford gets injured. Who do you start?
I think it'd be
Henderson.
Probably Henderson, I'd have said.
And I quite like Nick Pope, I think. Henderson's younger.
Yeah, Henderson's younger. I think Pope's fantastic, and he does deserve a go at some point, in my opinion. I don't know whether people watching would agree or disagree with the statement who you'd start as a goalkeeper, but I think for the last couple of years, England's problem has always been goalkeepers. How Joe Hart in the past was always just picked no matter what. We've always had a problem with goalkeepers, and now we've got quite a lot of good goalkeepers because you think about the keepers that haven't even been called up. You can take Ben Foster as an example at Watford, who's been fantastic. Not necessarily with them being relegated, but year on year he's been quite a quality goalkeeper.
Player. Yeah,
exactly. And I think we always tend to pick the same goalkeeper. It'd be nice to see very soon some of the different players like the Popes and the Hendersons coming to the lineup here at some point.
Well, you see other big national teams, they'll always have that main starter, but they'll always switch up their sub goalkeepers, and I think it's something we might need to do. And I've just seen that horrid miss shot. I think it's by Declan Rice. He just loses it under his feet when his ball's in the box. That should be a goal.
It should be a goal. It's been a very good start, though. It does feel like there's a good rhythm to this game. I think there's been a lot of the matches that, of course, all the boys and that have been watching the games that they picked out. They've been very slow. We didn't see really many shots until 30 minutes in. And this one has had a couple of good opportunities. And I think England have got another corner here 18 minutes in.
there's positives we can take from this. So far, we're actually playing tried to play more direct and just have a go, take a shot if we need to. Yeah, I mean, I saw KD in the chat said, "Has Foden got stage fright or something?" But
I mean, he's in the chat now. He says, "Why is there a West Brom flag?"
Is it West Brom flag?
I haven't even noticed. You've got to tell us where the West Brom flag is because I haven't seen it anywhere so far. Oh, yeah, there is a West Brom flag. You'll see it in a little bit when the replay comes up. There's a massive flag which just says West Bromwich Albion on it.
You know what? Big fans. Big
Fair
fans.
play.
Yeah, that is it. Rice here, number 4. Sancho does incredible well, cuts it inside, and Rice just misses it completely.
They're just showing now the disallowed goal again, and they've slowed it down so you can see there whether Declan Rice has actually made the foul or not. And you can quite blatantly see there's no foul there, and it's just a very good bit of diving from the Iceland defender.
I've seen the West Brom flag as well.
Why is that? I'm guessing it's just a case of they took like fans' flags and that.
Well, you know, like when fans take the thing, it's like the England flag and then it's their club's badge at top left.
Either that or there's some big Iceland West Brom supporters. I was going to say in the crowd.
In and around the stadium.
Yeah, I was going to say in the crowd, but of course, there's no one in the crowd for these games. We're going to hit the 20th minute mark, so I'm going to change the time. It's still 0-0.
You know, if you're Iceland, you're going to be quite happy. So far, holding England to 0-0, 20 minutes in, especially with all the chances England have had.
Yeah, it's been a very, very good start. I mean, they're coming forward here now, might have an opportunity to go for a goal, and they're going to get their first corner of the game here. Not been a bad start for them, and I think the aim in their game is very similar to what Bosnia did last night against Italy. If they can frustrate England and keep it goalless for as long as possible, all it takes is one chance at the end of the day, and they could bring on somebody like a Sigurdsson or a Goodmanson, go on and up and just frustrate England.
Like players who've had a little bit more experience have played against this English side, because obviously Sigurdsson and Goodmanson will play against nearly in the starting 11. They play against 10 of them. The only one they won't play against is Sancho, so they'll know.
Lofted ball into the box towards, I think it was Sigthorsson, but Pickford's been able to pick the ball up and throw it short. Kieran, by the way, said it's alleged offside for the goal.
Right.
I mean, it's quite a lot. There was quite a lot going on there because I thought it was a foul on the goalkeeper from Kane. There was the Dyer situation. Bit of a weird one, that one.
Apparently offside. I realise the one issue we've got with England, and it's not a bad one, but obviously the Premier League is one of the biggest leagues, so we get so many players from different nations that when we come into these international games, there's going to be at least one player who knows every single player on the English side. That's why it's good that we've got Jadon Sancho, because a lot of players won't know what to do when they come up against him.
Yeah, no, and that's why it's nice to see a couple more England players go out abroad, like Jude Bellingham going to Dortmund as well. That's a good one to see, I think. I know he doesn't play for the main England team, but players like Patrick Roberts, he went to Spain on loan. England have got the ball here, by the way, in attacking phase. Harry Kane, who's had a hell of a lot of possession on the ball. In fact, there was a moment ago where he went round 2 Iceland players and tried to dink it up, I think, towards Sterling, but just couldn't get it towards him. But yeah, it's nice to see a couple more players go abroad because I think we need that. You know, you look at the big nations like Spain and Germany, they've got multiple players that play across different leagues, while England, it's just, apart from Kieran Trippier and Sancho in this squad, they all play in the Premier League.
Yeah, and I think then you look at the squads and you think, like the other internationals, you think, oh, well, that's a Bundesliga, that's a Serie A, that's a La Liga. It's like they've got so much depth that when they all come together, they all bring something a bit different from what they've learned from their individual managers. Whereas in the Premier League, a lot of them will play for the same club, United's, Chelsea's, all the same clubs. And I think it's just a shame.
England were coming forward for a moment. Jadon Sancho got inside the box, tried some skills, laid it off to, I think it was Kyle Walker, who put a terrible cross into the box towards Sterling. Bit of an awkward ball. And you can see how Iceland are playing counter-attacking football. And right now, as you said, it's working pretty fairly spot on.
Phil Foden has been a bit quiet this game, but like you said, it's his first game. he'll have to get used to this international level. But I do think he will be a mainstay in this England side for years to come.
Oh, definitely. It'll take time. I think it's just a case of it'll be his first game. Nerves will kick in. Even though there's nobody in the stadium, there'll be plenty of people watching at home and things like that. It's a massive, massive game for him, and it'll take him a little bit of time. But once he's had a game or two and he's got into the flow, I think we will start to see the Phil Foden what we have at Manchester City.
Yeah. I mean, is there anyone that's been omitted that you think deserves to be in the squad?
I was very surprised actually that we didn't see Dominic Calvert-Lewin get called up to the squad as a forward. I'm not just saying that because of Kieran Al's love for England's number 9, but he was in pretty decent form towards the end of the Premier League, and I thought maybe we would have seen him get called up. But in terms of the players that are there, I'm very surprised, as I said before, that we've not tried out a Greenwood or a Danny Ings up top instead of Kane. But yeah, I think it's, as you said, just getting the fitness levels back up again.
An old familiar.
Yeah, exactly.
Is Chilwell not being called up? Is he injured?
I don't know on that one. It might be because of the whole Chelsea move to why he's not being called up, but he didn't call up a recognised left back altogether, which is
because we've got
weird.
Walker and Trippier. They rotate out for Alexander-Arnold and Chilwell or Wan-Bissaka and Luke Shaw. Who's our other left back?
Danny. Usually it's Danny Rose,
but he hasn't had the best. Yeah, obviously at Newcastle he went to, didn't he?
No, I mean, even still though, I mean, it must be a real kick in the teeth for him, the fact that there's been no left backs called up, and to be honest, you'd have probably expected him to maybe call up just a left back in general, and he's not called any up. So to play Trippier as a left back is an interesting choice.
Yeah, it's not even like he's called up a left mid who can play at left back, who's had experience. Very strange.
Yeah, I thought he was going to play free at the back, because we played it before in other friendlies and big games. We played free at the back, and I thought he was going to go for the same system again, because you can quite easily use Walker as a centre back because he's done it before multiple times for England. Declan Rice, if you had to, desperately could play as a centre back. Eric Dyer, he can play there as well. So they've got plenty of players who could play it, but we're playing 4 at the back again, and I think we'll, throughout these Nations League games and friendlies, keep changing formations to find out which one's the best for England's system.
Mm-hmm. Have you seen Tottenham's All or Nothing yet?
I haven't, no. I tried watching episode 1 on my phone, and then the Amazon app wasn't working, so I'm going to try and watch it at some point before we go back. But
on YouTube, there's a guy who's uploaded clips, and I've just seen that there's a clip of Eric Dyer talking to Jose Mourinho and called him overrated and stuff. Not Mourinho called him, was like, you've been called overrated. So why is that? Very interesting.
He does look quite good.
A lazy cunt.
I am looking forward to watching it, because I will ask one question. Does it show much about Pochettino? Because it feels like a hell of a lot of it is just when Mourinho comes in.
So I haven't watched actual full episode. I've just seen clips. But from what I've seen online, apparently you don't really show anything of Poch's sacking or him before.
Which is strange, because I thought, because it wasn't like he was sacked instantly. It was like a month and a half, 2 months after he joined. So I thought maybe we'd have seen at the start Pochettino, then him get sacked and it go on to Mourinho.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kyle's put nothing about Poch, about 20 minutes, which is strange in my opinion. I thought maybe the first episode would have been about Poch, and then at the end he gets sacked, and then second episode's about Mourinho. But it's a weird one, that one.
Poch didn't allow the footage to be used.
Yeah, that was the thing I was going to say. Maybe it is a case of they're not allowed to, because he's not part of the club anymore. Mm-hmm. So, compensation-wise.
Maybe Ericsson agreed to have his footage used, possibly. Very strange.
Potentially. It's a weird one. By the way, in one of the other games, I know they're not massive games on, Azerbaijan are down to 10 men already. Mahia Emreli getting sent off. So Azerbaijan down to 10 men against Luxembourg. No goals yet in all of the games.
Azerbaijan team that consists of...
Can you name one? I'll be impressed if you can.
No, I can't name one. Can you?
I've got the team up, so I could name the full 11 right now.
Well, go and have a guess.
If you could have named one, I'd be very, very impressed. But yeah, down to 10 men in that game. Apart from that, all the games are goalless right now.
What's Benali? Is it Libyan? No.
I think you're right. I think he's Libyan.
If I'm right, I'm right. No, I don't know any Afghan. If you look at the things, can name an Azerbaijani or Luxembourg player? Cyprus? No. Montenegro? No.
Vucinic.
Estonia, Regit Klavan. And Georgia? No.
Chekvatzadeh.
Georgia, I can name a rugby player. Kashvili.
There is a Kashvili as well in football.
Boom.
Boom. Spot on. See, got that there.
Just covering all the channels.
It kind of shows that this game has died down quite a bit. We're nearly half an hour into it. 28 minutes to be precise, but I'm going to put it as 30 minutes on the clock. It's still 0-0, and it's a shame because that first 10 or 15 minutes, it looked like maybe this game was going to have 1 or 2 goals in it, but it seems to have gone a little bit flat.
Yeah, you had an early chance. You had a chance from Sterling, but that's it, really.
I mean, very quiet. No major opportunities for Iceland so far, but as you said before, they'll be very happy with this start. If they can keep it 0-0 and get a point in this game, it's a great start for Iceland in their Nations League group.
Mm-hmm. Who were they in a group with?
They're in the group with us, and then alongside our group, we have Belgium and Denmark.
The Nation League still confuses me.
Yeah, it's very confusing.
I'm a simple man, and yeah, it's like you've got Group A 1, 2, and 3, but how are they deciding? How is promotion decided from Group A?
It's so confusing. It's so confusing. I mean, I'm looking now. Obviously, you've got leagues A 1, 2, groups 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you've got leagues B, group 1, 2, 3, 4. You've got group C 1, 2, 3, 4. But then when you get to group D, there's only 2 groups, and one of the groups only has 3 teams in it rather than 4.
I know.
Which is so confusing. If you try and get like to the bare bones and really look at the rules, you'd probably be sat there still confused even after like thoroughly reading through it.
It's just a glorified friendly, if anything.
Pretty much. I mean, I don't mind it. I think I said yesterday, I think this Nations League stuff will kick in once players have had more games and they've got a bit of fitness behind them. But like this first match day, and even like match day 2, which comes up in a few more days, it'll be very slow.
But I think the semi-final final is something to look forward because you are getting them top teams. But yeah, who won it last year? Netherlands.
It was Portugal that won it last year.
Did Portugal win last year? Did Netherlands got to the final though, didn't they?
They did indeed. I think it was a 1-0 win for Portugal. Late winner in that game that got the goal. Long throwing for Iceland that was hit with some trajectory that nearly went into the back of the net then. Worth watching that one. Fair bit of power put on the long throw. I mean, it wouldn't have counted anyway, as far as I'm aware, which is a real shame because it'd be nice to have a long throw in. That counts as a goal. But yeah, it's probably Iceland's best opportunity of the game so far.
It's such a fun thing.
They should have it where if you have a long throw and it goes in, it should count.
Yeah, it is skill, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Fair play to him on that one. Good opportunity.
Yeah. What I might do is hold up. 2 seconds. Okay, there is
31 minutes on the clock. Iceland 0, England 0.
What I'm gonna do is just because I'm so far behind you and you're like waiting and stuff, we're gonna get Estonia versus Georgia coverage.
Oh, go on. There we go.
Because luckily I've got headphones on, so I can hear the commentators saying the names. It's not like I have to stop and wait for thingy. Might as well get 2 games on. Rather than you having to like go, wait until you see this. You can just talk through it properly.
Nice. There we go. So
you don't need to put a whole thing there for it. It's fine. Just keep the thing down the bottom.
Here we go then. Iceland coming forward here, by the way. Good opportunity. Kyle Walker's taking him down. I mean, is referee going to give that as a free kick or a penalty? Kyle Walker's going to go into the book here. Yellow card. Absolutely spot on there. I think that's going to be a free kick. It's a goal.
It's for Georgia.
Oh, just as you've gone on as well.
The cross comes in from... It starts with a K. See, this is what happens. You take the trick games and they fucking feed you. Team lineups. Hold up. It was number 10 for Georgia.
Number 10 is
It was-
Okriashvili.
It was Okriashvili. Plays it in to the box to number 13, which is Katrava. And that's a great header, by the way. He jumps up above all the Estonian defenders and flicks it to the bottom left. I go to Georgia and the goals start coming.
Just as you join as well, a goal. Fair play in that one. Free kick, by the way, here, England. He was outside the box. Definitely a free kick, what Kyle Walker's giving away. And I find Kyle Walker so clumsy when he plays for England. Mm-hmm. There's 4 players standing over this. And I mean, it's a shame Sigurdsson's not on the pitch because if you want one set piece taker on, it would be Gylfi Sigurdsson. But maybe they've got another one in the team here.
And I'll tell you what, it wasn't Okriashvili, it was Krabrach Kelly. He literally runs, sprints, he kicks it as he's falling over and it pings into that box. And Katrava jumps up high and slots in bottom left. Georgia 1-0 up.
What a start for you. You turn up within a minute and you get a goal.
I love the Slavia Prague as Peter Olinka were running up and down the pitch. I think I found my new national team. Fuck England.
Georgia all the way now.
We're all Georgia, aren't we? Right.
Fair play. First goal of the Nations League this afternoon. And you've literally been there for about 30 seconds.
They went, oh no, Rowan's coming in to watch the game. We've got to tune in for this.
Got to improve the pace of the game. That's what they said. Mm-hmm. But no, the free kick that Iceland have just taken, by the way, it was really poor. Nowhere near the goal. Went out for a goal kick.
Typical.
Which is why you'd want to have somebody like Gylfi Sigurdsson on it.
Yeah. Straight thing with Iceland, I don't think they have many major players where you go, oh yeah, he plays for that. You've only got Gudmundsson and Sigurdsson.
Absolutely. 35 minutes on the clock. England coming forward here. Jadon Sancho plays it off for Sterling. Oh, he's on the right-hand side this time. I think they've both moved wings here, and now Sterling's on the right, Sancho's on the left, which I guess is a good thing that both players can do that quite easily. But the referee's given a foul to Iceland, and yeah, he's spot on with that. Just Sterling bumbling into one of the defenders there, and it's an Iceland free kick inside their own box. But very slow right now, 35 minutes in, and it's a shame because that first 10 minutes, it looked quite lively, and now it's just seemed to have died out.
Also, the Wolves have signed another Portuguese, Fabio Silva.
Very good signing, that.
Broken their transfer record.
Really good signing.
For 35 million.
Looking forward to seeing him play. 18-year-old. Another Portuguese player as well.
We know he's class from the FM state. But yeah.
I'm going to be interested to see what they do now with Jimenez as well. Whether they play one up top or two up top, because when you've got 2 very good strikers, you're going to have to try and keep both of them happy.
And maybe Jimenez resorts to a backup striker, but I don't think he'd really want that.
I don't think they would as well, just because of how many goals he scored. I don't know whether they'll bring Fabio Silva off the bench.
Estonia playing. Ronaldo chops it and then just pings it with the outside his foot down middle. It's intercepted by the Georgian defence, but Estonia and Georgia play some lovely football here. You're
getting a better game than what I'm getting right now. It's just very, very stale. I mean, I'm looking at the stats for this match. England 5 shots, 3 on target, 81% possession. It's not been a bad game, but it's one of those where you kind of think right now, with some of the opportunities we've had, England should be 1 or 2 up. I mean, the potential offside at the start, 5 minutes in, didn't really notice that. I thought it was a foul, so I can't believe that's been given as offside in the first place. And then there was the other chance, which you said, from Declan Rice, where he just mishit it.
Very interested now to see how England really... They need to get a goal before the half, just to sort of not save face, but show that they are not weak in this Iceland side, which are a weak team.
Yeah, and he's one of those, I think, as well, where one of these big sides needs to put a really good performance in and just show the rest of these teams, you know, we're not here to play it as if it's a pre-season friendly. We're here to get the 3 points and move on, because I know right now it's very hard to take this competition seriously and care about it. But I just think that there needs to be one big team that comes out and gets a very good win, maybe like a 2-3, 4-0 win, and just kind of shows the rest of the pack, you know, we're here to play.
Yeah.
And I think we might get that tonight with France. When they're playing off against Sweden. I mean, the 3 games tonight, which there's going to be another watch-along tonight. Portugal taking on Croatia, Sweden, France, and Denmark, Belgium. Kieran, and Will are going to be live for those three. Good games
They're
then.
going to be some great games.
Hopefully,
They really are.
we get some goals in those ones.
Yeah, I think some of the games do have goals. I'm looking forward to the Denmark-Belgium game.
Yeah, I'm looking for the Portugal-Croatia game. That should be a good one. No Ronaldo though as well.
Is he out? He's not injured, is he?
He's out injured with he was stung by a bee on his toe apparently, so he's got an infection, which is very peculiar.
I shouldn't laugh. Well, I saw that he was chilling on his boat. I was like, surely he's not injured then if he's happy to go on a boat. But I suppose if he's just been stung by a bee, it's all good.
Yeah, it's a bit of a bad situation for him, bless him. But I think they were talking in the press conference and it's not too bad because you could play somebody like Andre Silva instead, who, to be fair, he's not a bad striker on his day.
No, obviously there's a gulfing difference between them two, but yeah, see, I know what you mean.
I mean, technically tonight as well, because Portugal are taking on Croatia. I think Rebic is starting, so it's the battle of the two players that are on loan at the respective clubs.
Yeah. I think it's a tough game to really predict. I think should we do predictions at halftime? But
yeah, we'll do predictions at halftime.
We're not on tonight.
We get to chill. Yes,
chill. You've got birthday night, you've got darts, and you've got that.
Yeah, I have big nights sports wise, as you said. It's like there's a lot of just big things going on across sports in general. You know, as we said,
it's going to be great.
Big week. You know, F1 you've got tomorrow. Darts is on, big tournament there. They've got the Nations League. It's looking forward to it. It's good to see sports just coming back.
Because we've got F1, NFL, the league's restarting. Can't wait for it. The NFL has got me hyped for the season to restart.
Not long now, is it? Next Friday?
Next Thursday.
Next Thursday.
What team did you end up choosing?
I think it was it Steelers, I think.
Oh, you're a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, Joe.
I think it was Steelers.
We've even got KD getting into it, being a Bucks fan.
I would, but with me, you know, I'm half asleep by midnight, which is usually when the games kick off, don't they?
Yeah. Luckily, being a Jags fan, I think all my games are at 6 p.m.
Oh, you got it perfect.
Because they're not popular.
40 minutes on the clock, by the way, here. Still 0-0.
I thought that was Stephen Naismith there. It's not. It's just a man who looks a lot like him.
I'm just looking at the games tomorrow night. Some all right games tomorrow. Still no goals elsewhere, by the way. Although England are coming forward here, might be an opportunity to get the first goal. Jadon Sancho. Both Sterling and Sancho, they have swapped wings. From what I thought earlier, lobbed into the box towards the path of Ward-Prowse, who can't get a touch. And if he'd have got a touch, then I'm pretty sure that'd have been 1-0. He's 1-1 with the goalkeeper. Unlucky for him there, Southampton midfielder.
That last thing we need, that finishing touch.
Yeah, it's a shame. It'd be nice for somebody like a Ward-Prowse or Foden to get the first goal of the match, get them their first goal for England as well, and just, you know, bring a bit of confidence into the squad. Because, I mean, it's not been a bad first 40 minutes for the performance-wise, but it'd just be nice to have a goal.
Yeah,
because we've dominated the game so far, and it just feels like a goal's going to come soon.
Georgia do have a corner here, and they're the big striker who scored the header originally is up there ready and waiting for it. I love it. I know we go like, I'll try to take an easy game for the names. I'll probably go for the hardest game with Georgia. with my nasally voice.
They've got a lot of long names, haven't they? Like long-winded names. Kazaishvili, Kvalia, Chekvatsade.
If you've got a lisp, you're done for.
We've got a throw in for England towards the right corner flag. Walker's taking it. He's laid it off to Raheem Sterling, who's come to track back and play as a right back while Walker's further up. Lofted long towards Trippier, who gets his head on it inside of the box, but it's a safe for Hal Dawson. It's been a poor match so far. It's a real shame.
Tahith Chong scored two today for Werder Bremen.
On fire, not bad for him.
Manchester United youngster.
England coming forward again, chip ball towards Sterling, can't get there, and it's a shame with this Nations League. I'm hoping the next kind of games they play in October are better, because as I said, this is more of a test for us to see whether we'll do international fixtures in the future. And right now, with the way that these games are being played, Jesus Christ.
I like that. It's a really cool idea and a neat idea. I think friendlies are better. I think because then your team get to play someone who's. Well, I know that it's all levels based technically, but it's not really, is it?
The thing is, with friendlies, you get to devise your own games. You choose who you want to play. So the amount of times England used to play like France, Germany, Brazil, they're games that you pick. But with these, obviously, Nations League one, it's already determined who you're going to face. So, we get the only kind of relatively big nation in our group, no offense to Denmark and Iceland, is Belgium.
Yeah.
In terms of the teams in like the top 10 or 15 rankings wise.
In a tournament.
Yeah, exactly. And I think the group we had last year, we had Spain in there. I'm going to try and find it out now.
I remember we had Spain. I think the one thing is when you have them pre-season friendly, the pre-tournament friendlies, like if it's the Euros, we normally play like a South American side or something. So we're not giving away our game plan to a side we'll compete with in the Euros. And also you get to see like England play Argentina, something you would rarely ever see in a World Cup. It might happen once in 4 years, and that's wishful thinking.
Yeah, and
that's always play the same teams in this, nearly.
The thing is as well, because like South Americans have the Copa America and stuff like that, it's very rare you do get to face teams like Brazil. But the group we had last year in the Nations League, we had Spain and Croatia in our group. And then the other team we had in our group as well was... Just trying to find out who it was. It might have just been Spain and Croatia,
I think we had 3, didn't we?
It was just Spain and Croatia we had in our group.
We actually had quite a tough group because it was the first year, so all the seedings had to go for next year, right?
Yeah.
However it worked.
But that's the thing. Like you look back at that group last year, and it was very competitive. And that's why I said yesterday, this tournament can work on its day because the game we had against Spain, where we beat them 3-2, was a really, really good match. Like both teams were going for it, and then I think we were 2-1 down, and we came back 3-2, and it shows that it can work, but I just think it's going to take a little bit of time for people to want to watch these matches.
I think it should be based on the thing is less like based on the 2016 Euros. No, that's probably too far away. You base it on like the last major tournament, and you rank all the European teams on where they came in the World Cup. So if they qualified, they get played a certain one. Then if they got to the knockouts, they get to a certain group. And then it's like us, Croatia, France, and who got to the final against France? No, Croatia.
Croatia.
Who did France knock out? Belgium. So it'd be us 4 in like the top group because we got to the World Cup semi-finals, and then the next group might be your teams who got to the round of 16, quarterfinals, stuff like that. And then you're playing these competitive sides that you've got a higher chance of facing in the next major tournament. 1 minute at a time in Estonia versus Georgia. Not a bad game. Georgia obviously looking like the better side here.
He sounds like he's much better than the Iceland game. 0-0 at half-time. Not been a bad performance for England. It's just waiting for the first major goal to really kickstart this game. And I think had that Kane goal gone in the first 5 minutes, might have been a very different match. And we might have come in at half-time, say maybe 2 or 3-0 up. Not a bad performance for Iceland. As you said, playing it perfectly. Counter-attacking football. Not really had any major opportunities on goal, but they'll be happy with that. But 0-0, it's a shame because it'd have been nice to have seen a goal just to kickstart this match.
This game's clamouring for a Clavan to just absolutely wipe out a Georgian player and hit a counter-attack.
I can't believe. I assume he's not been called up, which is a shame. It would have been nice to have a bit of Clavan watch. Clavan is 34.
Okay, so he's a bit old.
He's getting on a bit, but I mean, with Estonia's squad, technically still one of their better players.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think I know any of the Georgian players. Estonian players. I'm guessing they all play in the Estonian league.
I would assume so. I'm guessing. There was a goal in the Azerbaijan game as well, so that's 1-0. So England 0-0 right now in their game, half-time in these ones, and it's been a bit of a dull affair, to be honest, between Iceland and England. But what we'll do now is, as you said a moment ago, we'll do score predictions because tonight the boys are going to be live again. Kieran L, Kieran D, and Will. They've got 3 very good games tonight. Portugal are taking on Croatia. Very good match. That's going to be no Ronaldo tonight for that one. Sweden take on France. Of course, Ibrahimovic is retired, so he won't be playing a part in that, but still a couple of decent players in that Sweden squad. Emil Forsberg, to name one of the players. And Denmark take on Belgium. Pretty decent game on paper. That Eriksson, I think, is available for Denmark. Belgium have got Lukaku, Hazard. They've pretty much sent up the majority of the big players, so should be a good game, that one. We'll start off with Denmark-Belgium, the game that you said you were looking forward to. As I said before, Belgium have brought a lot of their big players, Lukaku, Hazard, Carrasco, Mertens, just to name a few of the attacking players up top. Denmark, a couple of decent players in there as well, Eriksen, Schmeichel. Should be a good match overall.
For me, I only see one team winning this, and that's Belgium. I think we know they're an incredible side. Like you just mentioned the attack, then you've got your defensive, Alderweireld, would normally be Vertonghen, but you've got them players Meunier at right back. I think one thing that they don't have is that big youth player like a lot of teams do. You've got what's he called, Canner, plays for Anderlecht, I think.
Yeah.
Who is like 16, but he's a supposedly big prospect. You've got Mangala, the centre mid for I think it's Stuttgart maybe. He plays for a German side anyway. Yeah, but for me, Belgium, the go-to win. I'm going to 3-1 Belgium. I just think they'll get a convincing win, but maybe Denmark can get an early goal, or just a goal.
Well, that's what I was thinking as well. I thought 4-1 in my head. I thought maybe that Belgium tonight were going to be that one side that would come out, pretty much all guns blazing, put a lot of their big stars out, like Lukaku, maybe Mertens, Carrasco, and just have a good game overall. Roberto Martinez, the manager. I think Denmark will probably try a couple of players out, and I think that might be the game where we finally see a couple of goals in it. So I'm going to go 4-1 on that one. So we're both thinking quite a comprehensive Belgium win. Of course, that starts at 7:45. The other game, Sweden, they take on the World Cup winners, France. Of course, France had a pretty decent qualifying round for the Euros. As for Sweden, theirs was a little bit more cagey. First game for these sides in 10 months, as is pretty much for every other nation across Europe. What do you think for this one?
For me, again, it's similar to Belgium. I think France's talent outweighs Sweden. I think against Sweden, again, I don't think they have that youth. Really, on the top of my head, I can't think of anyone like... For me, when I think of Sweden, I think Emil Forsberg. You had Ibra in the past, obviously. Ibra, you say he's past it, but he's banging goals for AC Milan. You've got Augustinsson at left back. Vent. That's all the Swedish players head. But yeah, for me, France, they've just got so much depth. It was the thing when it was the World Cup. And they showed France's players who could have been called up, and they could have made 3 World Cup contending sides, which is mental. You had your goalkeeper with Lloris, Areola, and then obviously you've got your 2 up-and-comers in I'm going to butcher his name, Magnan, the lost
Magnan.
And there's one more who the Premier League side have turned their heads to.
Lafont.
Lafont. Then you look at your centre-backs, just so many. They've got depth all over the pitch, and I think that will outweigh Sweden. I'm going to go for 4-2. 4-2. I think we're going to have a goal game.
It'd be nice to get a couple of goals. As said, these are 3 fixtures where you look on paper and you think these could be the games that have the goals in them. I think 3-0 France. I think, as you said, France's squad is just so good. You talk about the defenders there. You look at the quality of midfielders they've got. They've got, Matuidi, Hussein, who's not available sadly because he's got picked up coronavirus, which is a shame. Nzonzi, if you're looking for another CDM, Kante, Tolisso. The list goes on. You can name endless midfielders.
Your lower rank players like Doucouré, players who haven't had a good domestic season, but could just walk into the national team and do a job. Yeah,
Doucouré, Guendouzi, just to name a few off the top of my head. Camavinga, the youngster. Sissoko, yeah. It's a mad squad on paper, and then we talked about defenders, midfielders, attackers. There's just a plethora of them: Lacazette, Ben Yedder, Griezmann, Mbappe, Martial. The list is absolutely endless when it comes to it. And I think tonight France will show the dominance. It'll be a 3-0 win. Tough game for Sweden. And then I think the toughest of the night in terms of the 2 teams, 2 very good sides. Portugal and Croatia. Portugal are without Ronaldo, as I said before, stung by a bee. Got a toe infection. And Croatia, they've not got Rakitic or Modric available to them. So 2 of their biggest stars are missing. I don't know on that one, to be honest. I don't know
Rakitic because he's got the move to Sevilla, but Modric.
With Modric, I don't know whether he's been injured or not, but they've still got the likes of Brozovic, Kovacic, who can play midfield. So not bad overall. And then up top, they've got the likes of Rebic, Perisic, Kramaric as well. Tough game.
Yeah. It's such a tough one to take. I suppose you can only base it on the last year and nations, but I don't know. Both teams have got depth. They're also missing big players. Ronaldo, Modric, usually sort of your main standouts. I mean, we talked about Croatia's. I think Croatia have always got weakness in defence, but yeah, they had a stellar World Cup tournament, and they seem to have a consistent thing. You've got Vishalko as the main sort of standout defender off the top of my head. You've got the best defender in the world, Dejan Lovren. I'm going to go 2-1 Portugal, but I could see this going either way.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. I think it'll be a tight game. I'm going to say a 2-2 draw for this one. I think if they both put out decent sides tonight, which I don't know whether they will or not, because if you look at a team like Portugal, they could quite easily put out a midfield of Ruben Neves, João Moutinho, and I'm trying to think off the top of my head of like William Carvalho as the free midfield, or they could spice it up and bring in somebody like a Renato Sanchez, give him a run out, and if they either put a big squad out and put the big players out, it'd be a great game. But at the same time, these have both got quite very good youngsters between both sides, and I think we'll see a couple of goals in this game. And hopefully tonight, the boys do get 3 very good games, because they look great games on paper, and they'll be live from 7:30 for those matches. With kickoff at 7:45 for those ones.
Yeah.
And in terms,
at 7:30.
Yeah, should be live. Kick off 15 minutes later, and then for the other stuff that's going on in the background, not just football related. Of course, as you said, Rowan, you've got the Italian Grand Prix tomorrow.
Yeah, they're at Monza. We had a different qualifying. Sebastian, we know the Ferrari's going to be poor. Vettel not even making out Q1. Qualified 17th. Tough race for him. And then sort of front of pack, you've got your 2 Mercs leader, but you've got Carlos Sainz, who produced a stellar of a lap to qualify P3. And so him and the McLaren will be hoping to get a win or get a podium place before he moves to that Ferrari, where the Ferrari's been horrid, but he's going to put performance in McLaren before he moves there. So yeah, very stable. Either probably 2 o'clock, maybe 10:2, depending. Probably 2 o'clock, depending on the start of the race and stuff. And only go live once they've just finished the national anthems. So yeah, look forward to that. The week after, there may be a stream, there may not. It's all to do with moving in and stuff. Times. But yeah, I think that's everything I'm streaming. Yeah.
Should be a good Grand Prix. Hopefully, it's better than the one last week.
Yeah, last week, in fairness, without quite boring. I just saw the perfect tweet was basically F1 has 3. They have F3, F2, and F1. F3 and F2 are feeder series. So F3 is feeder to F2, F2 is a feeder to F1. So in F2, all the cars are the same specs. So none of the cars are different. It's all based on driver, really. And they've had 8 different winners in the past 10 races. In F1, all the cars are different. The teams can modify however they want. We've had 8 different winners in the past 10 years or 8 years, which is mentally the same with compared to people who are football fans. It's the same as City winning every single year, and it's just not changing. It's boring. And then F2 is like the championship, where you might have a different team win it every year, because it is a feeder series. So you've got your best teams trying to gain a promotion. It's boring, but the stuff's changing slowly. Fingers crossed. So,
well, that's the thing. It sounds. I mean, it's not bad F1. It's not terrible, but it's like, as you said there, the thing is, if you have different winners every week, it changes it up. It makes it a little bit more exciting than it used to be. Somebody like Hamilton winning. Yeah,
I mean, it means the final standings. Like, you might get to the final race of the year, and it all comes. I think 2016. It was both Mercedes. Mercedes dominate the field all the time, but both Mercedes were so close. It came down to the final race where Rosberg won. But yeah. I think 2021, the regs are changing, so all the teams have budgets now they've got to stick to, which should mean the pack is more even, hopefully. But yeah,
fingers crossed.
That's the F1 stream this weekend. Look forward to it.
Yeah, it should be a good one. 2:10, the race starts. As you said, should be live about 2 o'clock around that time before the race starts. And then there's the other stuff football related as well. Over the next couple of days. As you can see, we've still got the Nations League goal show to do over the next couple of days between September the 2nd and the 8th. So a few more days left of that. and then we'll probably never do it ever again with the way that this tournament has been so far, but we'll have to find out, of course. September 22nd, 23rd, the first legs of the playoffs in the Champions League. Of course, still some sides need to play off to find out if they're going to be in the competition next season. So we're going to have the first and the second legs, but we'll keep an eye out on those. 24th September, the UEFA Super Cup is on. Bayern Munich take on Sevilla. It's the winners of the Champions League against the winners of the Europa League. Should be a pretty good game on paper. The last time Sevilla played in the Super Cup, their game ended 5-4. Can we have that again, please? And then October 1st and 2nd, we have the UEFA Champions League and Europa League group stage draws. 1st of October is the Champions League draw. The 2nd of October is the Europa League draw. So should be pretty good indeed to find out who faces who in the Champions League and the Europa League next season. We'll be live both days for them. The group stage draws, we'll be looking forward to those ones indeed. Did fairly well last year with the knockout stage draws. And then, of course, we'll have watchalongs for the matches across all 5 major leagues all season. And then, of course, other sports as well, including the likes of F1, WWE, and potentially darts in the near future. And Crazy Howling Dog is in the stream as well. He says, I demand to know the score. I can tell you the score, Crazy Howling Dog. It's 0-0. You've not missed absolutely anything. Yeah. It's been a very, very dull first half, you could say, which has been pretty much the majority of the Nations League of the last couple of days since we started our golf show. It's as if we've cursed it.
Boring. Sorry, I'll be honest, I got very distracted. I started looking at my colour on my wall.
To be fair, it's probably more enjoyable when watching the England game. I mean, Crazy Island Dogs, but absolutely hectic. Honestly, if you're not watching the game right now, just don't bother. Save yourself the hassle of watching another 45 minutes, because I'm pretty sure at the end of it, I'm going to be saying it's going to end 0-0. And Iceland have picked up a really good point. But right now, it's just been, it's been a little bit dull for the first 45 minutes.
You know what's not dull, though? Georgia versus Estonia.
Which is the game you have got the privilege of watching right now.
So I was going to watch the England game, but it's next week will be so much easier. In the week after, but once we're all together, it'll be easy because we can actually sync up quite more convincingly. But yeah, I've got to watch Georgia Estonia. I tell you what, stadium's lovely, and the football's lovely as well.
Much more lovely than the game that I'm watching. But we're about to kick off in our match for the second half. Iceland 0, England 0. Get ready for another boring 45 minutes of football.
I've currently got an advert for some Disney books, but I did go get a drink, so
keep yourself refreshed. Don't blame you.
San Pellegrino.
Oh, go on, Rowan. You love to see it. What I don't love to see is that the ball is rolling in this game again between Iceland and England. If you're not watching the game, I'll keep you up to date with the score as much as I possibly can. But to be honest, it's highly doubtful it will change. But we've kicked off. England in the first half dominated the match. Plenty of opportunities on goal. Could have had a goal in the first 5 minutes of this match. Harry Kane put the ball into the back of the net, but he was disallowed apparently for an offside decision, which I don't know what the referee was looking at. Maybe a trip to Specsavers at the end of the game would do him some good, because none of us could see it. We both thought it was 2 different fouls going on in the build-up. So how he's given it as a potential offside, I've got no idea. But to be honest, it doesn't really matter. And I don't think, to be honest, there's many England fans out there who really give a shit about the result of today's game.
Did you see Gibraltar picked up a 1-0 win against San Marino?
I did indeed. That's the first time Gibraltar have won in 13 matches, which is unbelievable.
Yeah, I'll say the other game, but Crazy Howling Dog has just said it's 2:30 a.m. So go to sleep. I guess I can have a quick EPL prediction for you both, top 4. Go on, Josh, you go first.
Top 4, no particular order: Liverpool, City, United, Chelsea.
Liverpool, City, Chelsea, Arsenal.
There we go.
No, Man United. I've got to go United. I've got to go.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's going to be the same suspects from last season.
I think Chelsea have a lot better season. They made some decent signings.
Oh, the signings that they've made is unbelievable, and the fact that they're still nowhere near completed this window is fucking.
I think if they bring, I saw KD. I don't know what his Twitter is. So I think it's at KD UFC, but he just went. Someone said, "What do you reckon rank thingy Chelsea's transfer window?" Went 9 out of 10. If they sign a keeper, 10 out of 10.
Yeah, if they sign a keeper, it's been an absolutely fantastic window, and I think. I saw something yesterday. It was about the Eden Hazard deal that Real Madrid is still paying off Chelsea for Eden Hazard, and this year Chelsea got 50 million, a 50 million payment for Hazard, which means that that's pretty much kind of paid for Kai Havertz.
And obviously at that time, where they couldn't sign anyone as well. So I can just imagine Frank goes in and just goes, right, I want that. And Chelsea's going, give us a couple of months. And boom, they've all just slowly started coming in.
It's mad, isn't it? And it just obviously shows how much money Roman Abramovich has got on the club in general. But it's hopefully they can gel, because like when you think of the front three of Werner, Ziyech and Havertz, alongside the likes of Pulisic, Kante, as a neutral, it kind of makes me look forward to watching their games and just enjoying them if they can play well.
I think it's a lucky thing when I was part of the Premier League team. I know when KD watches, probably does some watchalongs in United, when a big team are playing, they're picking up a win, he's probably thinking back and said, well, this is going to affect United. So I think as us, we can just admire that Chelsea are going to be probably one of the most fun sides to watch next year.
Oh, absolutely. And the Premier League season starts next week. I think first game's Liverpool versus Leeds, which on paper, that is a pretty good game in itself, isn't it? Winners of the Premier League.
Rodrigo to mark his name.
I don't think he'll play, to be honest.
Because wouldn't he still be in? Would it be, no, he won't be in the Spain thing.
I think he'd be under quarantine.
Well, that's the same with Alioski, because I was going to say Macedonia won 2-1. All goals were penalties, which is fucking... It's what you expect from North Macedonia versus Armenia. But yeah, I'm guessing it's the same for a lot of players that are in the Premier League. If they have to, not quarantine, but quarantine for a certain amount of time.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't know whether the rule's going to apply or not, because there's quite a lot of big players that are playing these games that would have to go under quarantine. And because there's another game coming up in 3 days' time, the season starts on the 12th, I think. So Liverpool take on Leeds. So, for example, Rodrigo wouldn't be able to play because he'd still be under quarantine for another kind of week and a half. Liverpool wouldn't be able to play Gio Gomez as well because he's playing right now for England. So there'd be a couple of...
Arnold, did he get called up?
He did, but he's not playing today. So if he doesn't play, I don't know whether that'll have any implications or not.
So surely if he's been in the training squad and stuff...
Well, that's what you'd think. It's confusing.
Knows? Yeah.
Because I don't know whether they've got certain rules for it, where, you know, if they've been called up or not, whether there's going to be rules that they can just go straight into the back into the squad. As you said, who knows? It'll be interesting to see, but I'm looking forward to that first game, Liverpool v Leeds, winners of the Premier League against winners of the Championship.
What games have they got on Sunday? Because I doubt we'll be able to watch along as that. I want to know which ones we're missing out on.
The game's on Sunday for the first game of the season. I don't really think we're missing out on a great deal, to be honest. I've got them up.
You don't know watch West Brom versus Leicester?
I mean, it's a thrilling match. West Brom v Leicester, Tottenham v Everton.
Yes.
It's not a bad match in itself, to be fair. If Everton have got their signings through the door, you might have Alan, James Rodriguez, and Decore. Maybe
they've done very nice this transfer window as well, haven't they?
Yeah, it's an interesting one with Everton because the players that they brought in are good, but it's whether they play good or not, because Alan had a temperament issue at Napoli, which is why they sold him on. So if he brings that to Everton, hopefully he doesn't. He's a good player on his day, and I think he'd do great. James Rodriguez, it depends which one turns up. If it's the one that's lacking confidence, then although they've spent 22 mil, fans will get frustrated.
I think for me, James Rodriguez is a great sign just because he didn't get any playing time at Bayern. He got a little bit at Bayern and Real Madrid. Go to a club that's a bit lower, but you are going to be their star man. Oh,
absolutely. And the thing is, if he can get that confidence back, they've got a world beater. He's still only 29 as well, so they've got a couple of years left in it.
Decore is just very consistent, and he's a very good player, so good signing.
Yeah, Decore has always said, I think for the last year or two, he wanted to move up to another club, and, you know, fair play to him, he stayed at Watford, and I think he's the one player that I look at and I don't worry about. I think he'd just slot in at Everton perfectly.
And he'll fit that English football he's so used to, whereas I think James and Alan will have to get used to it.
Oh, absolutely. And the thing is as well, it might take them a couple of weeks before we actually see them properly, just to gel in with the squad and, you know, get to know the players and the systems that Ancelotti's using.
Yeah.
But 52 minutes in here, honestly, nothing has happened so far. There's been a corner for England that led to nothing. Apart from that, nothing's happening in this one. There's been another goal elsewhere, though, in one of the games that is on at the same time as this one. And Luxembourg, I've got an equaliser against Azerbaijan, who, of course, are down to 10 men. Who scored that goal? Leandro
Barriaro Martins. Fucking hell. The Azerbaijan logo's class. It's like it's on fire.
It. It does look quite nice. But 1-1 in that game, which so far... What is it about this tournament so far? Because the last 3 days, it's always been the game that you look at on paper and you think, it's going to be absolutely shite. That's been the best game.
Yeah. I mean, and you get fucking Azerbaijan, Luxembourg's had the most goals. I'm pretty confident. Yeah,
exactly.
In fairness, you know what? I like this game between Estonia and Georgia is really good. It's both teams really trying to matching each other. Also, I like the Estonia kit. You see blue kits, but you normally just see dark blue. This is like a light blue. It's very nice.
Well, this is the thing. It's for the teams lower. I think I've said it before. For the teams lower, the Nations League means quite a lot because it has implications for their qualifying for the next Euros. So you would expect the smaller teams to go for it, the likes of your Luxembourgs and your Georgians and that. They'll go for it because it's massive for them. While for the bigger teams, you're only really fighting to either get promoted higher up in the league divisions, or if you're in League A, you're fighting to get into the knockout stages to win the tournament.
Yeah.
Which is why, although we do see bigger fixtures, like big games like England, Spain last year and that, 9 times out of 10, and what we've seen so far is fit the pattern, that the smaller teams have had much better games than the bigger ones.
Yeah. I just realised today, do you know Liverpool and Blackpool played? How come Blackpool weren't in the cup?
I think they had already played their game against Stoke a few days ago.
Oh, right.
I'm pretty sure Stoke and I think it was Stoke played Blackpool a few days ago.
Last Saturday, yeah. Stoke won on penalties. That makes sense.
Which is a bit strange why that game was played like a week in hand to the rest, but...
Also, Ajax beat Augsburg in a pre-season friendly as well.
Yeah, a couple of decent friendlies still going on.
Yeah, Ajax, Augsburg, Watford, Tottenham and Watford winning that game.
It's been a few very good friendlies today because West Ham played Bournemouth and I think they lost 5-3.
Oh, what game?
Yeah, the elusive Betfred Cup, what they always play for every year.
That's what you want.
They love the Betfred Cup.
Is it Soccer Ed this weekend as well?
Soccer Ed's today, I think. Tonight.
Is it today? I might watch that. Bit stupid.
It's at 6:30.
See Jeremy Swaz Lynch.
Oh, is he playing?
Yeah.
Oh, my lord.
I think it's because in my YouTube recommended, right, it came up with Soccer Ed 2018. I watched it and I saw Jeremy Lynch. I was like, watch 29 and he was still there. He scored in both games.
Jesus Christ.
There's something about me. It's everything that's come out today in the past couple of years. Have you seen all the drama? It's still football. I think we could talk about it.
I've seen little bits.
Mental. It's basically everyone saying how Jeremy Lynch is a dick, to put it politely.
But
and how
to
Billy's
be fair,
got that bad.
I think people have known that for years now. He's always acted that way, to be honest. I mean, if that's his persona and that's the way he wants to be perceived, then
Fair
each
enough.
to their own, I guess. If he wants to play like maybe he's not like that in person. Maybe it's just his type of character.
Yeah, it might be a bravado. He's not being this big skiller and big football guy that he wants to live the life of it. But also, forgot about Soccer Ed. Did you hear the news about Yaya Toure?
Yeah, I did. It's a random one. It's very Yaya Toure, isn't it?
When they think about it, I just looked at the comments like, wow, well, the whole team's a snitch. If you hadn't heard Yaya Toure, basically went to a Soccer Ed team and said he could get them all prostitutes. And then he put this in the group chat, and the group chat reported him to Soccer Ed, and he's not playing in Soccer Ed now.
And I can't believe they reported him. Why do that?
Why snitches? He's great. I love it.
So the thing is, though, it's a very Yaya thing to do.
Oh, 100%. If you looked at this thing and said, who's doing it? Yaya. You know who's agreeing to Yaya? Wayne Rooney's there. I'm just trying to look at...
By the way, the game is tomorrow, actually. 6:30 tomorrow night.
That's what I want, the lineups. So, England, you've got... Okay, it's not showing me the full team. It's cut off a bit. Big names. Chunks the YouTuber, if you've heard of him, Alfie Allen, who played
Never heard
Theo
of him.
Greyjoy. James, I might just do this because I'm guessing your games are boring. Just tell me
Yeah.
if you heard of him. So some of them are obviously players and some of them not. Alfie Allen
No.
plays Theo Greyjoy. James Bay.
Yeah, I heard of James Bay. Good music.
John Bishop.
Yep.
Chunks.
Never heard of him.
Liv Cook.
Nope.
I think if it's who I think she might be an actress. Tom Davis, and I don't think it's the Tom Davis, the Everton footballer.
Is it Tom Davis, the swimmer?
I think it's the comedian.
Let me Google Tom Davis comedian, and I might recognise the face.
He's bald and he's gay.
Yes, I do.
Yeah. Joel Dommett.
Yep.
Young Philly.
No. Is that young Philip Schofield?
No, Young Philly is a mates with Chunks. He's very entertaining.
Young Philly.
Marvin Humes.
Mm-hmm.
From JLS fame. Danny Jones.
Yep, Dan Jones plays every year, I think, for him.
Yeah, for McFly. Lee Mack.
Yep, of course.
Paddy McGuinness.
Yuli Want, yep.
Ollie Murs.
Yep.
Joe Wicks.
Yep.
And I can't see the rest. You go to the legends. Gareth Barry, Wes Brown, Katie Chapman, Andy Cole, Ashley Cole, Joe Cole, Emil Heskey, David James, Michael Owen and Kelly Smith. The managers are Rooney Allardyce and Bradley Walsh.
You didn't think you'd ever hear that, would you? Rooney Allardyce and Bradley Walsh.
3 pillars of English football, really.
Oh, God.
I'm looking at the World XI. Ken Kettner, who is former Love Island guy. Santan Dave.
No.
Heard of him? He's a rapper. He's an English rapper. Mo Gilligan.
Yep, I've heard of Mo Gilligan.
He's an English comedian. Chelsea Grimes.
Yep.
She's that sick with the Scouser singer. Roman Kemp.
Yep, Roman Kemp. Heard of him.
Dermot Kennedy.
No.
Locksmith.
No.
Jeremy Lynch.
Sadly.
Jason Manford.
Jason Manford, yep.
Ore Aduba.
Yep, heard of him.
Former Blue Peter legend. Serge Pisano. These guys in every year. He's from Kasabian.
Oh, yep.
Ian Sterling and Billy Wingrove.
Wow, what a lineup.
They're not even English. Some of them are English.
Splash the cash. It might be because of the coronavirus and stuff. I'm guessing they probably called up a lot of just people around the area and stuff to do it.
Well, yeah, you look at the World XI. Michael Essien, Patrice Evra, Julie Fleeting, Darren Fletcher, Shea Gibbon, Robbie Keane, Claude McAlealy, Leanne Sanderson, Mikel Silvestri and Yaya Toure, Harry Redknapp, Brian Robson and Vic Bettinelli are the commentators.
Michael Essien. Yes. He still plays. Mental that. He's going to be the fittest player on the pitch, Michael Essien. Isn't it mad that at the age of 37 he's still playing professional football?
Yeah. Very strange. You know, fair play to Big Mike Essien.
I used to love him back in his day.
He was a great player, weren't he?
When he was at Chelsea, beautiful.
Many things I didn't watch much before when I was younger. So there's only certain players I remember. Mark Viduka and Alan Smith for Leeds. It's more Mark Viduka I remember. Tubby Viduka.
What a throwback. So can I just say, there's nothing going on in this game.
We've just had a deep cross in and keeper collects it for Georgia. But yeah, my game. You know the game said when I'm listing off celebrities for Josh to see if he knows.
He's so dead. It really is making me think about never doing international fixtures ever again in my life.
Yeah, yeah.
Honestly.
The thing is, we said, we talked about it 2 days ago, we don't know if we'll carry on with this. We've done 2 consistently, and there's still been dead games. We've got some good games coming up anyway.
I mean, that was the thing. We always said these were going to be testers. We want to try out as many things as possible, see which work, see which don't. And if they don't work, then it's just simple. Of course, we just bin it off. But right now, it's been so dull. And it'll probably just be a case of giving one more opportunity where, next month when, players have had a bit more fitness and games under the belt. But right now, if you've paid hard money, your hard-earned cash to watch this game, because remember, these games, they'll be on ITV if it was a friendly or something like that, and you've got to pay to watch the England match. You can't watch it for free. If you've paid money to watch this, I'd be asking for a refund.
Thing is, I can understand Estonia, Georgia, and the other games, people not, but the England, you expect England to be at least 2 goals ahead by now.
Oh,
Did
yeah.
Did it make changes at the half?
There's been no changes so far. I'd assume there'd probably be some changes soon. Harry Kane went for a bicycle kick a moment ago, but couldn't go for it because he had somebody smack bang behind him, and the referee's given a free kick for a high foot.
If that done some, yeah.
I mean, that'd have made up for it. If Harry Kane scored a bicycle kick, then that would have made up for the entire miserable hour that I've watched right now. There could be forward though again here. Sterling's taken that free kick. Maybe now we might finally have an opportunity on goal. Jesus, what a dull game.
Yeah, my game's been absolutely. It's been good. Estonia had a ball whipped in. It goes straight to the keeper, but both teams sort of just trying to get something going here.
Hopefully, something can get going soon. I think the next tester I'm looking to do, maybe in terms of football, is maybe doing some of the Carabao Cup fixtures because the way the Carabao Cup's working right now is it's one game a week. So next week is the second round, and I know they're doing the draw for the second and third round together.
Like during midweek?
Should be.
So that's it, because I know we've got our first league game next week.
Carabao Cup second round date. I know it's a very quick turnaround between like the second and the third round. 15th for the 16th of September, so 10 or 11 days. And then the second round's on. So they're doing the draw.
Really clubs are added now, aren't they?
First big chance, finally. Can actually talk about something. Come from that free kick a moment ago. Lofted into the box. Eric Dyer. I'm just trying to see. It was lofted in. Trippier took the free kick. It was actually one of the Icelandic players that got a touch on the ball. So it's going to go out for another corner here and would have been an own goal there. And Iceland doing a better job at finishing than the England players right now.
Mental. The Iceland team sort of not schooling England. We've got a lovely counter-attack building here for Georgia. They've slowed themselves down, never mind.
Montenegro have taken the lead against Cyprus, so we've got another goal.
Montenegro.
Which now means that the only game without a goal is England right now, which pretty much is the England way. Who scored for Montenegro? The answer is Stefan Jovetic.
Oh, nice. Oh, how did I forget Jovetic?
Come off the bench to score in this game. That's him. Where is he now, Stefan Jovetic? He is...
China.
AS Monaco still.
Oh, right.
Never seen him play in France.
Because I don't remember seeing it. I don't remember seeing him anything. Do you know when I was doing the quiz and I've been looking at the teams or when we've been talking about things, I never saw Jovetic play.
I don't think they ever do play him, to be honest. Rarely ever gets a chance. And coming on is Sigurdsson. However, plot twist, Gylfi isn't Gylfi Sigurdsson.
Gylfi Sigurdsson's not even in the team?
So Gylfi Sigurdsson isn't in the team.
Who are Gylfi?
This is a different Sigurdsson. So it's a Sigurdsson. This is calling. I'm going to try and find out his name now.
Do you think a couple of players can sort of say, no, I don't want to because I want to play club football the first week they come back?
It might have been a case of some clubs saying no, and they wanted to keep them for the pre-season games, but it's Arnor Sigurdsson that's come on here, not Gylfi.
Close
Enough.
One thing I was going to ask Josh, are you going to bring back your Twitch stream soon? I don't know whether you wanted to promote it.
Potentially in the future. I'm going to see what happens. I think with the footballing calendar right now and the way that the channel's been, it's just a case of trying to see how these go. Yeah. Try and see how these go. And if they're focused on YouTube, then I'll focus more on YouTube than Twitch. Because we seem to be doing quite well with subscribers and things like that. It's slowly building up. But Danny Ings is coming on, by the way.
Oh, nice.
We're finally getting a change for England here with 25 minutes to go.
I was going to say, I really want to play Among Us. I don't know whether you've seen it. It's just me having a chat with you now. Have you seen Among Us?
I have, yes.
I really want to play it, but I need 6 more friends who've got a PC. But I don't think none of us... KD can, but Will and KL can.
Yeah, KL couldn't.
Bastards. Who do they think they are?
We need to get 6 people for it.
Have you seen it, though?
I've seen it. He does look quite good.
It's like Trouble in Terrorist Town and Gmod. A little bit. I don't know whether you've seen that. I'm just speaking nonsense to you.
I know. I've seen Gmod.
Trouble in Terrorist Town's where there's one terrorist and the rest are all innocent, and there's one detective.
Oh my God.
Is it just England not doing anything?
They're coming forward. a good chance here for Trippier to try and cut in. Doesn't do anything, and he's giving a free kick to Iceland. How's that a free kick to Iceland? Trippier's not happy with that, and he's got every right there. How's that? The Iceland player's gone in for the tackle, yet somehow it's been given as an Iceland free kick. Makes no sense. Sums up this game so far.
England really need a goal because it just looks embarrassing more than anything else, doesn't it?
I mean, it wouldn't be an embarrassing result because, to be honest, as I said, I don't think people, quite frankly, care about these first few Nations League games. But it's just frustrating because the amount of opportunities we've had to score in this game, and we've not converted any. And Danny Ings is coming on now. Phil Foden is coming off. So there's going to be two up top now for England in this kind of last 20, 25 minutes. And it's frustrating because the problem with England is this happens every year. We come up against the smaller sides and it usually ends 0-0 or we lose these games. And it feels like right now this is just going to end 0-0.
George having the close. It's ball just comes across the face to go. No one can poke it in. It was goal scorer. Jeffs missed it. I mean, I was going to ask about Phil Foden. I mean, it's his first game for the England main team. Any positives to take from it? Or
he's been very quiet. He's had a couple of decent opportunities to string passes, but he's probably been a little bit more quiet than he probably would have wanted to have been, which is obviously probably why Southgate's took him off. But not a bad game. It's not like he's had a terrible performance, and maybe as well it's a case of trying to rest him up for the next match to get him on for the other game. But I've just seen, by the way, will now not be available tonight for the match.
If they what game did he have?
He had, I can't remember actually. I don't know which one he had.
So if they desperately need a third, I can hop in.
But yeah, there will be no Will now tonight instead. No. So we'll have to see whether Rowan is joining the boys tonight or whether it's going to be the two Kierans.
It seems from the chat that Kieran's not fussed. They're calling him and KL the dream team, so I think I'll leave them to have their bit of fun.
Chill out and see what happens with the games tonight. Hopefully they get some goals, although we're going to get a yellow card here. And England are down to 10 men. And, Kyle Walker, you fucking donkey. What are you doing? Well, he's chucked the... I'm just trying to see what he's done here. Second yellow card, England down to 10 men. And I said earlier about Kyle Walker, he has got a very bad record for England for getting yellow cards and just being an absolute stupid tit. And he's done it again. I'm going to see what's happened here, but we're down to 10 men. And just having a look to see what's happened. Oh, that's fucking rash. What the fuck are you doing there? Unbelievable.
Stupid.
It's a situation where the ball is just rolling on the floor. Two Iceland players have gone to get the ball, and he's just hacked into the other player with a slide tackle. And to be honest, that would have probably been a red card if he hadn't had a yellow card. Yeah. So stupid tackle there. And with 20 minutes to go, it's a massive for Iceland because they could quite easily have a good chance to get back into this game. And as sad as it is to say, at least it might make this final 20 minutes a little bit lively. But England down to 10 men with 20 minutes to go.
Do you see Trippier coming off and them going through, and England going 3 at the back? Just sticking with 3 at the back, but with Trippier as a makeshift centre back.
I don't know. I don't know whether you take another midfielder off here and bring on Ainsley Maitland-Niles and bring him on as a right back, or as you said, go for it at the back and try and push, because I think even, being down to 10 men, there's still a decent opportunity for England to try and win this, but it's just a stupid tackle from Kyle Walker. And I know this game doesn't really mean a great deal, but he's just got a stupid record for getting yellow cards, cynical foul, and it's just typical Kyle Walker.
Yeah.
But he never does this on the club stage. That's what I don't get. When he plays with England, he's always getting yellow and red cards.
The City's actually he's an all right player. He's in terms of temperament, and he don't make rash fouls and stuff. But yeah, like I said, for England, strange, very strange.
It's a weird one. It is weird. England coming forward though. Sterling chipped a ball towards Danny Ings. Can't get there, but it's come back to Sterling again. it'd just be nice to get a goal in this game because all the other games have had goals in them so far, apart from this one. But Sterling's coming down the left-hand side. Could be good opportunities in the box now. He's going to lay it off, but there's no one there, and it's cleared away.
It sounds like it just explains the game. There's no one there, and then a sigh.
Pretty much, and there is going to be change. Alexander Arnold's coming on at right back. And the play coming off is Jadon Sancho.
I don't think Sancho is unfair on Sancho. That is lovely by, I think it's the Georgian captain. He just flicks it past two Estonian midfielders. He gets hacked down in the process. That is lovely. Georgia will boot this ball up high. Ooh, two Estonian players have gone down to each other, but Georgia are not going to stop for it. Split left out outside the box. Shot! Oh, it just goes over, but an Estonian player is still down here. It's pure miscommunication by the two defenders there. And one's down. Jesus.
Well, I'll tell you what, they're still dominating possession here, England. Iceland just quite happy to sit and counter-attack, coming forward again here. And I've got a slight feeling that Danny Ings might get a goal in this game.
Yeah.
We've got the two at the top now, Kane and Ings. Great opportunity here for Ings to really prove himself on the stage. I mean, he's had England caps before, of course, before he moved to Southampton at his time when he was at Burnley. And hopefully he can get himself a goal.
Yeah. It was Tam and Taniste who both came into each other, and I think it's Tam that it's Taniste that is down the right back for Estonia. I think he's getting up to his
minutes
feet.
left.
I just think he was winded, if anything.
Change the timer here as we've got 15 minutes left to go. Sancho's not happy, by the way. You're spot on with that. He's had a very good game, to be honest, in terms of the two wingers, Sterling and Sancho, have brought quite a bit in terms of trying to get crosses into the box, but he's got every right to be frustrated with that.
I think Southgate will say, yeah, it's not your fault, you've played well. Blame Kyle.
Pretty much.
You also word it like that, but definitely. I think Sancho will probably know that. He's probably know just that he can't get a goal or an assist in this game.
Yeah, and to be fair, it just needs a goal in it, but Sterling's coming forward. He's on the right-hand side. He's just outside of the box. He's going to try and chip a ball towards the path of Danny Ings. He's on the far left-hand side. It's cleared away. We've got a corner. Getting a little bit more lively now, which is good to see. We need a bit more action with 15 minutes left of this game. And there's been another goal in one of the other games, and it's a goal for Luxembourg, who are now in the lead against 10 men, Azerbaijan. So 2-1.
Cyprus had equalised. Love Cyprus.
Fortunately not, no. Well, hopefully we can get a goal here now.
I've been there and it's lovely.
Another change as well for Iceland. Traustason has come off, and the veteran Halfredsson, former Udinese midfielder, comes on.
Goodmanson come on yet?
No, he hasn't. Still on the bench. I think they've got one more change, so we might see it maybe in the next 5 or 10 minutes. Because as I said before, we've been down to 10 men. There's a little bit more space for them to attack and maybe get a counter-attacking goal.
I mean, they'll definitely use that place where Sancho would have been.
Corner's lofted in Trippier, and he's cleared off the line. Good clearance there. But he's come back to Sterling, though.
So that means Walker's not...
And he's cleared away. Sorry, Ron.
No, sorry. I forgot you were doing a talking over that. That means Walker's banned for next game, right?
He is indeed. So he won't be available for the game against Denmark, which is...
I don't think he was going to play anyway, but...
Yeah, I don't think he would have anyway. I'd rather see Trent play. Or actually, to be honest, I'd actually rather see Ainsley Maitland-Niles get a run out.
Well, cross comes in there for Estonia. Oh, and it's a foul. It's number 13 for Estonia, who is a sub. It's Livak. Just can't get into it. He pushes him down in the process. We've got another one, please. Come on, Cyprus.
And unfortunately, Rowan, 2-0 down Cyprus. Montenegro with a second goal in their game.
Was it Jovetic?
It's Stefan Jovetic with his second goal.
He's the only player I know. So I'm looking at the Montenegro team.
They got Stefan
Jovetic didn't even start.
No, came off the bench.
For God's, imagine that. Imagine that you couldn't get a start for your Also, I've just seen Jovicic's picture on Sky Sports. It's him in the City kit.
That proves how long people have forgot about Stefan Jovetic for, because I'm pretty sure if you were to tell most people about Jovetic, you could only remember him back when he was at like Manchester City.
Yeah. He were in the league for a while, weren't he?
He was at Sevilla. He was at Fiorentina, Sevilla, Man City. Then he went to Monaco, and ever since then, nothing. Never heard anything about him.
Yeah.
In
In
fact,
fairness, at Monaco, you are behind Ben Yedder, but still.
Still, though, you think, coming off the bench, he'd be a decent player. I'm looking at his record. He's not that bad. 29 games, 11 goals at Monaco.
Entire career.
Since he's joined Monaco in 2017.
That's not many games, is it, in 3 years?
No, not at all. I'm looking now.
Injured.
Last season, he played 9 games, only 2 goals.
It's not horrid, but obviously, like I said, Ben Yedder is that main man there. It's so sad to see with Monaco as well.
Yeah, it's as you said as well. He's had a lot of injuries in his time, so it's a shame because I'm looking at his record now, and when he first joined, 15 games, 8 goals, a really good record. But I think he picked up an injury afterwards, which just killed him off.
I think a lot of people go to Monaco just to live in Monaco.
Oh, absolutely! It's a lovely place. By the way, Mason Greenwood is coming on as well.
Ooh, nice.
So it looks like England are going for it. I don't know who's coming on as of yet, but I'll find out in a moment. I'd assume so.
4-2-1-2. So the math work out? It does. No, we don't. 4-2-2 maybe.
Try and find out who's coming in a moment. It might be a 4. He's got to be playing off the right. I'd assume, or the left. I'd assume Sterling is probably the one that'll come off, or else you're going to have 3 strikers up top, which would be great to see. Yeah, Kane's still on.
Oh, I thought Kane came off
as well.
Ings.
No,
Ings.
I'll have a look who came off for Ings there. Foden, yeah, it was indeed.
And Chak Fadesh has come off for Georgia. And I'm not going to try to pronounce his name because it's gone. But no, there's tactical sub for Georgia. I think that's up front as well. It's just sub.
It's a shame, I can't believe it. All the other games have had goals, like Luxembourg 2-1, Montenegro 2-0. This still hasn't had a goal.
And we're supposed to be a top side.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It comes back to the point that I think it was Alexa made about, some England fans being a little bit snobby, thinking we're a very good team. And Iceland are coming forward here. Lovely cross into the box, and it's cleared away, but it's Alfredson had a good opportunity there, just on the edge of the box, to try and go for the ball, but he stopped himself from running towards it, which is a bit strange. But good chance there for Iceland to nick what could have been potentially a winning goal.
Mental in it that you're talking about Iceland going up the other end. This should have been not an easy win, but it should have been a win for England, and we're nearly in this 80th minute. And
the thing is, this Iceland side, you compare it to the Iceland side we played 4 years ago, is much, much weaker to what we played then. They had obviously Gylfi Sigurdsson and the big players up, while the England side now is pretty much the England side we'd usually watch.
Yeah, is Finn Bogson Icelandic?
He is indeed.
Where is he?
I don't think he was called up to the squad. 31.
Yeah, I can understand that.
I think he had a bit of an injury spell. But once again, I think because he's quite a decent player for them, I don't think they've really called any of the big name players.
Georgia. Sorry. Oh, he cuts it inside. Is it going to go out? He goes out for a corner for him. That's lovely there by... I know his name because I've said it plenty of times. Okrach Villa. He cuts it back and then he goes to play it in, but in no one's there. And eventually does here and he goes out for a joint. It's raining now in Estonia.
It's not raining here. It's gone a little bit dark though now. The sun has gone in. And to be honest, just get the game over and done with now. It's been a very dull one.
Has 10 minutes left on my game. George crossed the ball in across fifth goal and it's cleared well by Estonia, but he'll go back out to Okrach Valley. He crosses it in and he don't beat the first man.
England coming forward again. Sterling. What can you do here? It's going to go out for another corner. Come on, boys. Let's try and get something from this game late on. 3 points would be fantastic. Mason Greenwood has come on, and it was Kane who's come off for Mason Greenwood.
Right, okay, that makes sense.
And 8 minutes left. You'd assume Greenwood's up top. Can he be the hero? Can he be the youngster to nick this game against Iceland, which is just ridiculous to say? And I'm just looking now, actually, at the Iceland stadium. There are fans watching the game.
I know that I saw, was it Halifax? It was one of the National League teams tweeted, but #United, they've got fans in their stands. And I know that the big teams and national teams, I know also, I think I talked about it last stream about Leipzig and Mainz having 8,700. So yeah, I know some. I don't think we will have that soon.
Sadly not. They're not in the stadium, but from where the stadium is, on the outer ring, there's gates, and they're all watching from the gates.
So it's not licensed.
No, but the gates, like the pitches, the gates are higher, so you can actually see the entirety of the pitch from the gates. So you're watching the game for free of charge. Fair play to him.
Well, I saw someone who went and watched Oldham versus someone in a pre-season friendly. He went with his dad, and he just sat on top of his dad's van. And because they were just playing on a simple Astro pitch, they could just see the entirety of the pitch.
Fair play, you might as well. It's like when they go, when people go to hotels and that, and they just go on the higher floor so they can watch matches. But yeah, because the pitch is on a lower ground level, you can, from where the fans are watching right now, you can see the entirety of the pitch. And well, there's not many of them, so they're all social distancing. So why not? Fair play. Although to be fair, actually, they've probably not missed anything at all, and they probably wish they were back at home with the way that this game has been. If they were an England fan, they would be.
Yeah. It's just sad to see.
Although we're coming forward again.
It makes me realise why England are where they are at some points.
Well, that's the problem. Big teams are able to break these sides down, but yet England, every year we come up against a side like an Iceland or a Bulgaria or a Czech Republic, and we get a 0-0 draw or we just lose. Although they're coming forward here, Greenwood with a shot, it's deflected, and it's going to go for another corner. And one of the Iceland players has gone down injured. No, actually, sorry, it's with cramp they've gone down with. Which just proves how some of these players haven't played for a bloody long time now.
That was nice from Estonia, really building it out from the back. Both centre-backs linking up with a lovely 1-2, take it to the wing. It's eventually lost on the wing, but Estonia plays some nice football. Obviously, they won't go down here, but it's all like watching these lower ranked sides because they are playing with a full 100% effort because this is a big game for them.
And the thing is as well, the majority of them are calling up their biggest players that they've got, which makes a good game. I mean, some of the goals, I was watching like the highlights for some of the lower end games. Some of the goals Faroe Islands scored, my lord, absolute screamers.
That free kick.
Yeah, mental.
Georgia did well here to push Estonia all the way back to their halfway line. Not
Iceland are coming forward here. Can they make something? 85 minutes on the clock. They've got about 5 minutes. I don't think there'll be a great deal of additional time added on. Maybe a minute tops, if that. It might just finish straight up after 90 minutes. But if they can nick something here and get a 1-0 win, then that is a massive result for Iceland.
Even a 0-0 draw is great for Iceland.
Oh,
the
absolutely.
Game they probably came into thinking not very confident with it.
And I know, obviously, for Denmark and Belgium, they probably won't care as much, but it's a great platform for one of them to really get a foothold in this group and get the first 3 points. But they're coming forward again. Iceland here, starting to get a bit of a spell of attacking possession towards the end of this game. If they can get something, then do you know what? Fair play to them. They absolutely deserve it. They've played the game pretty much spot on to the way that they've wanted to. The counter-attacking system has been absolutely spot on. Halfredson just laying it back off to the defenders. Nothing coming as of yet.
I've just seen the most blatant foul ever in football. Okashvili's holding the ball up, and Estonia player just runs, puts both hands on him, and just pushes him to the floor. No card is even given. Just both hands, pushes him off like you're pushing someone on a swing.
Oh, God, I tell you what. Ref, just get the whistle out, please. Get the whistle out.
Just end the misery.
Please. Yeah, just end it. Do you know what we're going to be watching tonight? We're going to see the boys watching the 3 games, and I bet you it's going to be like they've ended 5-5, 4-3. I'm going to be looking back at this and thinking, oh, God, why did I pick England?
Vasilishev's just come on for Ansalu for Estonia. And that's a midfield change-up. If you're big on your Estonian football...
We love a bit of Estonian football. I'm going to be doing this all over again because I'll probably watch the other England game, which is once again I think at 5 o'clock. God help me.
Again, if you need me to come in and do some expert commentating of Estonia versus whoever they'll be, are they in the same group as Israel and Scotland, or am I making that up?
Oh, my bad. Actually, they're playing at 7:45, so won't have to.
That's fine then.
That's the final day of action.
Some mediocre games tomorrow.
Yeah, the games tomorrow. Looking tomorrow night.
Spain, Ukraine, Switzerland, Germany are your big ones.
Serbia, Turkey looks like a good game. And in fact, I'd have probably said as well, Israel, Slovakia will be decent because Israel got a good point against Scotland and Slovakia lost quite embarrassingly, to be honest.
Then you've also got Netherlands, Italy. Then on Monday, you've got Netherlands, Italy, Czech Republic, Scotland, Israel, Slovakia as well, which could be
it's got to be a goal here, surely. Sterling. Oh, it's got to be a handball. Is it a penalty? I think the ref is giving a penalty.
Oh, of course we'd win it on a penalty.
Right at the end, Roy Hodgson's lookalike is the Iceland manager right now. He's not happy, and he's been given us a handball on the Iceland defender. And there's a penalty in the 88th minute here, surely to nick the first 3 points. And it's typical bloody England to win the game with a penalty.
Who's taking it? I'm guessing it'll be Danny Ings.
And Iceland are down to 10 men as well. The referee has got his red card out. It's the second yellow card for Ingasson. And it's 10v10 for the final few minutes of this game. And well, at least it spiced up a little bit towards the end of this match. So 10v10 now. And looking at
England, isn't it?
It's so typical. And looking at the opportunity now, it is the most blatant handball you will ever see in football. Sterling's gone for the shot. As the player has gone down, he's gone like that to block the shot. He's done the Black Panther.
X-Factor. Oh, the Black Panther, yeah.
And
that's probably worldwide more known.
The referee got the red card out before the yellow card. Sterling's going to take the penalty, which sends shivers down my spine because I don't trust him on penalties. He's against Hal Dawson. Can he get the win here for England? It's the 89th minute, 52nd second. Sterling steps up to the spot. The referee blows his whistle. And he hasn't taken it yet, but now he will. Hal Dawson trying to put him off, and Sterling slots it home. It's not the most convincing penalty in the world. It was quite a shit penalty, I'm not going to lie. Straight down the middle. It's a P-roller. But it's England 1, Iceland 0 in the 90th minute. And I'm pretty sure Gareth Southgate will just be happy at the fact that this England side has scored and got the winning goal, surely. Not the best match in the world.
Bloody England. Of course they do this.
Typical, isn't it? Typical England to wait till the 90th minute to win it. I mean, it's an absolutely awful penalty, to put it quite frankly honest with you. He's gone down the middle. He's not really hit it with a great deal of trajectory or power. But Hal Dawson, he's already dived to his right by the time Sterling's taken the penalty. And, 1-0 England. And with both teams down to 10 men. How much additional time are we going to get in this game?
3. Estonia have probably got one last chance here to counter-attack. And they'll take it down the wing.
4 minutes. And Iceland's gone down. It's a penalty for Iceland. Oh, my Lord. Can you believe it? Wow. Yellow card's come out for Gomez, who was literally just talking to Gareth Southgate a moment ago. And he's given away a penalty. It would be literally 20 seconds of England scoring the penalty. Iceland go at the other end from a long ball. And you know what? The referee is absolutely spot on. No question about it. Joe Gomez, he pushes the Iceland forward down, and it's a penalty, and it's deserved. And do you know what? if they score it. A draw is absolutely deserved.
So we talked about these games don't step up until late on, and England have just gone and done it for you, Josh.
2 red cards and potentially 2 goals, and it's Bjarnason who is
comes in. He's still in the box. Oh, and so they're cleared by Georgia, but Estonia, big chance of Georgia will come on the counter attack now. So he gets past one. It's what Estonia have got ball. Quick ball coming, back post on the volley. Oh.
Well, Pickford's got to be the hero here. 90 minutes on the clock. 2 minutes of additional time means we must get a couple more minutes because of the 2 penalties. Bjarnason steps up. He's on the spot here. Iceland going to make it 1-1 after, what, a minute and a half? I mean, in play time, it's 30 seconds. Referee blows his whistle. Bjarnason versus Pickford. He runs up onto the spot. Bjarnason. Oh, it's over! Oh, he's missed it! And, well, he knows that's a massive chance. He's dropped down to the floor. The Iceland manager, honestly, no expression on his face right now. He misses the penalty.
England have been let off here, Josh. They've been let off.
Do you know what? Had he put that a little bit low, Bjarnason, that would have been an absolutely outstanding penalty. He goes to the top right-hand corner. He goes over, and Iceland, the Iceland manager, no words on his face. Jordan Pickford's let off. And as you said, so are England. What an end to the game, Rowan.
Oh! Sorry, that's Georgia, and that's number 23 for Georgia. It's the substitute, Loves Handstay. Has come on, he's just nearly whipped it just past the right post. But Georgia not stepping up, even though there's probably 2 minutes left. Oh, so close. He just finds himself in open space and just whips it. But,
man. Dramatic end to these games. At least we're getting some action now. We've had to wait 90 bloody minutes for it.
92 minutes and we've got some action. I mean, for you, you've got fucking 2 penalties.
Well, I would assume here we're probably going to get about a minute and a half, 2 minutes extra time on top because of the 2 penalties.
Joe Gomez has been let off there.
He's been let off massively. And Iceland are going for it now. I mean, England have been let off in general. The fact that Bjarnason's skied his penalty. And they're coming forward now. Maybe 1 or 2 more chances for Iceland in this game to try and get that equalising goal. It's chipped up. But Joe Gomez is there this time, and it's good defending from the centre-back who was just given a yellow card. He's hoofed it long to absolutely no one. Halldórsson clears his lines. He's out of his box. And it's hoofed upfield. And surely the referee will blow his whistle soon. The whistle's in his mouth, and the whistle is blown, and England are let off in what was a pretty dramatic end to the game. Not a dramatic game overall, but what an end, Rowan. Bloody hell.
Yeah, God. It was typical of England when it get that late goal, then give away a penalty, and then the penalty's missed. It's not like you're even saved. Oh, and you know what? Is this a second yellow? No, it's a first yellow. It's a high foot, but Estonia have a chance to equalise here. I've got 30 seconds left on the clock. Sorry, George. I know you want to talk. It's a Kankava, sorry. Now closer. Just high foot straight into the Estonian thing. His face, it does clip him. Bit delayed reaction, but his foot is high. And the man who looks like Aaron Moy, and there's a lot of complaining. He's just going to get a bit of tape on his head just to cover the wound because it has been cut up, in fairness.
They're just showing now the Iceland players. I think Iceland know that this was a big opportunity for them to go out and maybe win this game because they had 20 minutes where England were down to 10 men. Of course, the sending off for Iceland was in the 90th minute anyway. Unfortunate for them. England let off, to be honest, because I do feel like a point was deserved for both sides here, but big win.
I think if you're Iceland, you at least take the positives that that you've held England out for nearly 90 minutes. Sorry, I'm just watching. It's a Javland who's stepping up. It's Javled and Krida. But I think Javled's going to take this. It's just outside the box. Georgia will hold on the keeper. It looks a bit like Sirigu, the Georgia's keeper. Can he produce a bit of magic? Lauria he's told his wall where to be. Whistle goes. Javled will take it. Oh, and he skies it.
Oh.
He absolutely skies, and the whistle will go. We're 5 minutes in now after 4 minutes at a time.
And you think that'd be a massive opportunity to just make sure the game's done, once and for all, because we've said before about the late goals. And the other two games are going on still, by the way. They're in the 94th minute. Azerbaijan still 2-1 down to Luxembourg. Cyprus still 2-0 down to Montenegro. Still time maybe for Jovetic to get his hat-trick.
There's always a chance for Stefan Jovetic. You might not get to play club football, but he can play international.
And I'm guessing the game is finished now.
Yeah.
It has indeed. Yeah. Boom, there we go. So the other two games are still going on. 95th minute in those matches. I'd assume they would finish very shortly. My lord, Luxembourg have had 20 shots, 8 on target against Azerbaijan. And Montenegro have had 10 shots, 4 on target. Quite a pretty even game, to be honest, between Montenegro and Cyprus. But the whistle's blown in both those games now. And there's the afternoon fixtures done. And, well, I tell you what, it is... The moral of the Nations League is wait till the very end, because for the last 3 days, it's literally just been late goals all the time, hasn't it? Unbelievable end to the Iceland-England game there with 2 red cards, 2 penalties, and a winning goal at the end. But pretty poor for the majority of the 90 minutes.
I think for Iceland, you take a lot of positives. You've held England to 90 minutes. Yes, you gave away the penalty, but you also won a penalty. I think was it Bodvarsson? Did you say missed it?
It was Bjarnason.
I think that's going to do his confidence now amazing. But yeah, like I said, there's positives you can take from this, and I think Iceland will look and say, "Well, look what we've done. We've just managed to contain an England side, but it should have easily beat them on paper." And then you look at England. England have got a lot of work to do now. A lot of work.
Absolutely. Next game is against Denmark on Tuesday at 7 p.m. But as for now, there's still more stuff to come on the channel. Keep your eyes out, because in about 35 minutes' time, both the Kierans are going to be live with the 3 games to keep an eye out on tonight. Portugal, they're taking on Croatia. Sweden are taking on France, and Denmark take on Belgium. So they'll be live from around 7:30 kickoff at 7:45 for those matches. So do keep your eyes out for that. And then as well, in terms of the other stuff tomorrow, keep your eyes out as well, because Rowan, of course, is going to be live with the Italian Grand Prix from about 2 o'clock for the F1. So keep your eyes out for that. But as for now, Rowan, thank you very much. It might have been a very boring England game. You had a much better match, I think, than I did.
I'm becoming a lifelong Estonian fan. No, but very, very fun game. Both teams back and forth. Georgia the better side. But yeah, thank you very much for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much. As for now, we're back tomorrow night for the Goal Show. Well, this should be, I think, a plethora of games tomorrow, so we'll keep our eyes out for them on the Goal Show. But as for now, enjoy the rest of your night. If you're going to join the boys, have a lovely rest of the evening, and we'll see you guys later.